Good evening, everybody, and welcome to SimPlay Motorsport. We are here for the season finale of the Pro-Am Championship. And what a championship it has been. The entire season comes down to the Donington decider. And oh boy, is it a decider. 4 drivers in bronze can take gold tonight in terms of winning that championship. That is Stapley, that is Malarek, that is Broom, that is Peckman, your championship leader. 5 drivers in silver could try and take home the gold. Tanner Ebone, Mirko Ricci, Wolski, Williams, Sam Williams that is, and Gary Leach looking for his 3rd championship. And 4 teams can win the Constructors' title. Forever Forward, 4Q, Greasy Bandits and SimPlay Racing looking to go back to back here with the same lineup as last season. What will happen tonight? It is going to be a crazy bumpy ride. You're not going to want to miss one single second of this action. And the man to bring the action with me tonight is, of course, the guy who's been with me all season, the legendary Gray Langley. This tonight is going to be awesome.
So looking forward to it. 10 rounds, not 20 races this season, a couple 90-minute races spread in there. So 18 races this season, spread over the course of 3 months, Matt, because we missed a couple weeks with the issues. So spread over the course of 3 months, and it all comes down to tonight. And looking at these practice standings right now, oh boy, it could really get down to the wire. One small mistake, one small incident, one championship-defining moment tonight could mean everything in the outcome, and it is all you've ever wanted to watch for in a finale.
And what a finale this provides to be. The top 5 gap between them. Gary Leach, 1,110. Sam Williams, 951.5. Wolski, 920. Mirko Ricci, 901. And Tanner Ebone, 857.5. He's the man who's got the work to do. But if anybody can possibly try and pluck one from underneath the others, it might be Tanner Ebone. We're trying to find other drivers out on track at the moment. Betson's on track. In bronze, Peckman, 702. From Broom, 618. Stapley, 587.5. Malarex, 576. And if you look at where Neil Broom is at the moment, Langley, compared to where Peckman is that going to be enough to take this championship?
The bronze championship gap is bigger than the silver, and you know what? We've had a pretty decent turnout tonight, so it could invite a big field spread in. Looks like Neil Broom's put in the hours of practice this week. He's seen that he's in the contention to claim this championship, and he hasn't led the championship all year.
He hasn't.
Same with Sam Williams. Hasn't led the championship all year. And now we have potentially 2 drivers tonight who have not led the championship all year with an opportunity to lead it after the only round that matters.
Indeed. As Peckman's actually dropped down another place just there. And then the Teams Championship. Forever Forward Racing of Kieran Argent and Tanner Ebone are in 4th place on 1,606 points. 4Q Motorsport of Hunt and Greaves are in 3rd place on 1,639 points. Then you've got Greasy Bandits on 1,643. So just under 40 points separates them 3 teams for 2nd place. It is a huge gap, though, to SimPlay Racing, 1,834. But there is plenty of points up for grabs tonight, Langley. And my days, are we about to witness something very special, I feel, tonight?
What you said to me before we got in the comms box tonight is, I hope you have your voice ready.
Yes.
Well, I hope you have your popcorn on your couch, everyone watching at home. I hope you have your voices ready, because it might involve some shouting, some screaming, some shocking moments, some twists and turns. It's what we've had all season. It's been a pleasure to commentate over, and my goodness, just a minute and a half here before the cars take away on their formation lap for race 1. It is going to be absolute cinema tonight.
And Langley, before we start, it's been an absolute pleasure to bring the action with you all season long. As always, much love from the commentary box, from myself to you, buddy. It's been a cracking season once again. But your grid for the penultimate time of Season 10 is Richard Betson from Dronelander. Brian Craig will line up alongside somebody who is not appeared there. So who has dropped down? Sam Williams has actually gone behind Gary Leach. There's a problem with the grid here. Somebody has been put... Or the game has glitched it in the wrong position because everybody was put in the right place. So Brian Craig, Popovich, Sturrock, Gabino, De Block, Flores, Stardog, Argent, Johnson from Greaves with Hunt, Millington, Kneebone, Ritchie, Wolski, Paul Williams. Why is Paul... Okay, so Paul Williams is down in 18th place, so a huge glitch here. That's who's missing from that front, 4th place position on the grid. But that's put Sam Williams behind Gary Leach, who's then ahead of Taylor, Williams, Tucker, Malarek, Stapley, Broom, Peckman and Privet has also been put to the back, a row back than where he should be. So nice little glitch already to start the final race tonight. But, Langley, I ask you this. Who's winning bronze in race 1 and who is winning silver?
Again, it's all who can stay out of trouble. In these races, I think Popovich has probably the best chance. I don't know. I've said Popovich the last couple weeks, and actually, the man to look out for in race 1s recently has been Sturrock. He's taken 2 race 1 wins in a row, so definitely keep an eye out for him. If not him, I'm actually going to take De Block in this one. He's been rapid over recent weekends, won the feature last week, and... for bronze, I think by far and away Neil Broom should win it if he stays out of trouble. That's the massive thing, though, is can he stay out of trouble? Because that pace differential to the rest of the bronze class was evident in that practice session. So if he stays out of trouble, he should be the winner in this one.
Well, let's see what happens. It is a tight, twisty circuit here at Donington Park. Good evening to Tan and Ebone in the chat. Gary Clarble, Peaceful Stepdad, Paul Williams, Neil Broom, Mackenzie's in there. Brad Dunk is in there. Matt Wright as well. I believe that is Vitas, who is Xenex Yeet. I could be wrong, but just let me know. And Class as well is in there. And a few comments coming in. Good evening, good luck to the races. Every time I watch some Pro-Am, I remember the times we had battles on those tracks. Remember Langley was great. Just joining time, says Class. Gentlemen, start your engine, says Matt Wright. Bradley Dunk is saying, I have my Chick-fil-A close enough. Here we go. This is going to be the start of an exciting night's worth of racing. 11 degrees track temp though, Langley, so the track may feel a little slidey even though it's optimum.
Yeah, it could. And there's a couple 2 memories I have from our battle, my battle with Vitas and Pro-Am, and it was actually the same 2 final rounds, Valencia into Donington.
It was.
In Valencia, I remember I was stuck behind him the entire race. Could not overtake him. 60 minutes of his rear end. And he ended up winning that race. And then going into Donington, it was purely a case of, can I hold on? Because he was by far and away the class of the field, absolutely rapid, and he's carried that momentum into the pro category. But yeah, it's almost the same situation. Can Gary do just enough tonight to hold on to this championship?
Well, let's wait and see what will happen as they go 2 by 2. Flores will start from the pit lane, and we approach now Goddard's Corner, the final corner on this Donington Park Grand Prix circuit. If you was there for the touring cars at the weekend, like myself and Mike Matthews, you'll know what drama can unfold in these legendary races at round Donington. The best track on earth, apart from Interlagos. And what will happen here at this beautiful circuit in the East Midlands. Penultimate round of the season is green and go, and Popovich looks like he's got away well already. Looking up the inside of Dronelander. May fancy a move up the inside of Betterson. Gets it stopped towards turn 1. Look at Sturrock trying to squeeze through the middle. And who is that? That is Kieran Argent in the Forever Forward car. Going side by side with Sturrock. 3 wide they was with Dronelander, who spins into Stardog. And that's a huge moment. And there's Steve Millington and Wolski. They've all been caught up. And the Forever Forward drivers have both got through already. A twist and turn in the Constructors' Championship. We've not even got going yet.
Not even got going yet, and some massive implications around there. I think Gary Leach was involved in one of those incidents.
His car looks okay to me from what we're seeing at the moment, but yeah, Steve Millington definitely was. Wolski got a bit of damage, you can see there. Stardog heavily involved as well. He was off. So was that of who is that just in front of Stardog? That's one of the 4Q drivers. It's not Sam Greaves. He looks pretty okay, but Hunt has damage to his car. Sam Williams looks nice and tidy. Where is Steve Millington to see how he looks in this race at the moment? Can't quite see him. Where is Steve? He's in the Ferrari. I'm looking for a McLaren badge. Again, car just looks a little damaged on the front end. All come from Dronelander spinning in front. But Bettison is fending off Popovic in towards Goddard's. They go for the first time to finish the first lap this evening. And Popovic up the inside as Bettison dives straight into the pit lane. Brian Craig stays out. So does Gabino. Sturrock's got heavy damage. Kieran Argent stays on track. He's now running in a net 4th position behind Gabino. De Block on the rear of him. Down in towards Redgate Corner they come. To block up the inside. Through he goes. Runs a little deep. Argent gets the up and under and comes back at Tyler De Block. And Kieran Argent back into 4th place. This is huge for the constructors already.
Absolutely clinical. And I did see Sam Williams dip into the pits that first lap to get his pit stop cleared. It looked like Gary Leach wanted to follow him in, but decided not to with all the cars pitting in front of him. I think he decided to stay out that extra lap.
Gary's dropped it. He's in the wall at the exit of the old hairpin. Championship leader in the wall on lap 2. And how this has massive implications for both championships now. Just saw it in the rear. Gary Leach in the wall. He's got to do it all again.
He's got to do it all again. And how bad is the damage? Is it a meatball flag? The hood does not look like it's flapping too much. Absolutely turned on its head in the first 5 minutes tonight. We are in for a spicy one.
Turn down your headsets, your TV, audio stations, power banks, whatever you've got to, the volume's coming out of. Turn it down because it's going to get loud tonight. But grab some beers, grab some popcorn and tune into this action. Paul Williams looking on the back of Sam Greaves. Him himself. Look at Malarex and Stapley at the moment. A lot of cars have pitted, but they're running pretty well. Popovic into the pits from the lead. That promotes Kieran Argent up into 3rd place now. Still with De Block on the rear of him. Behind Stapley who pits. That's Paul Williams who's around at the final corner. So Paul Williams has now dropped it. Gary and Wolski going side by side. Looks like Wolski's got the momentum, but he'll be on the outside line for Redgate Corner here as Gary powers down. Wolski looks like he's got a bit more damage. Turns in on Gary Leach a little bit. Both making contact. Still together through Redgate. Gary has a little twitch. Now coming through Hollywood. Down into the most famous corner at this track. The Craner Curves. You've got to be brave to go side by side through here. And Wolski backs out of that one into the old hairpin where Gary dropped it last lap. Better through there this time from Gary Leach. What a start to this race. Keenan Stardog on the back of Hunt. Huge implications there for the Constructors' Championship. Millington's down in 25th. This could blow the championships wide open here, Langley.
Yes, it could, and keeping an eye on that bronze championship as well. Your pit leader is Peckman, who is right ahead of his championship rival, Neil Broom, just 2 seconds behind him. Neil Broom's had the pace in these practice sessions.
Is it Stapley? I think it might be Stapley. It is. It's Stapley who's the leader.
I think Stapley just came out. Yeah, Stapley just came out of the pits and just came out ahead then.
So here we go. Wolski attacking Gary Leach once again down towards the Melbourne hairpin. They're gaining on the back of Tucker. Wolski chucks one up the inside pretty late. Gary runs deep. That's not going to hurt Gary. You want to be on that outside line on the exit because it'll give you the inside for that of Goddard's. 180 speeding in the pit lane for Paul Williams. Wolski's going to try the long way round Goddard's. Really difficult to go through there because that hairpin's a little tighter. But if he gets it, he'll have that inside line for Redgate Corner. Gary can't come across to cover this one off. Wolski is right there. Side by side, Wolski pulls alongside Gary Leach for the championship. These two are fighting not just constructors, but drivers as well. Side by side through Redgate. Brilliant bit of racing. Now then, Gary Leach, do you have the minerals to keep it pinned down the Craner Curves with Wolski? He does. They go side by side. What a bit of racing this is. Together in the old hairpin. Wolski tucks underneath and takes the position from Gary Leach. What a move from Wolski.
What a move, and keeping an eye on Sam Williams as well. He is just a few seconds behind the silver pit leader, Richard Bettison.
He is just a few seconds behind the pit leader of Richard Betton. Argent has lost out to Popovic. Tanner Kneebone, though, jumped Popovic in this race at the moment. So Tanner Kneebone has jumped ahead of Popovic. In the pit stops, Kieran Argent right behind him, a lot closer than what he was. Sam Greaves then runs a little deep. That's Malarex he's just got ahead of at the hairpin, with Johnson just behind him. So let's see what happens there. Sam Williams, though, like you were saying, he's just behind Betterson with the fastest lap. And net pit leader, net pit second place at the moment. So Sam Williams in a good position.
This could absolutely blow the Silver Championship wide open, on its head, just in this first race. What will the gap be going into the second race?
Well, let's wait and see what the gap will be, because it's going to be an absolutely fantastic night of action, that is for sure, as we go through this race. Drive-through cleared for Paul Williams. Stardog on the back of Hunt. Two cars fighting for that Constructors' title. Back towards Gary Leach and Wolski, though. Look at Flores all over the back of Leach, who's got Wolski still within his grasp. But at the moment, Leach could do nothing about Wolski, and this is huge for Wolski and Williams at the moment. Williams these two yet to pit, though. Who's the other drivers in contention? Mirko Ricci. Where is he? We didn't see him at the start. He's down in 26th. And Tanner Kneebone currently running a net, is it third after the pit stops? It is. Where's Tyler de Block? Oh, no, he might be behind Tyler de Block. He is behind Tyler de Block, so he's fourth after the pit stops, is Tanner Kneebone. But forever forward, going great here.
Yeah, they are, and it's really interesting to see what this fight in the Constructors will be as well.
Yeah, it will be indeed, to see what this fight can do. Let's take a look and keep our eyes on what will happen in this race in a few moments' time, though, because it's going to be an important fight to keep our eyes on everything that's going to happen in this race, as Tanner Kneebone trying to fend off Popovic. Needs Argent to come and attack him. Further down the grid, there's Malarex, who is behind now Broom, and Broom is within 1.3 seconds of Peckman. But Stapley, who is also in this championship fight, leads the way in the bronze category. Stardog still on the back of Hunt. Further down the grid, Taylor's on the back of Paul Williams. As we move up to the drivers who haven't yet pitted, Gary Leach is in now, and Sam's
only only a half a second off the back of Bettison.
So let's see what Sam can do. There you see Popovic has just got past Tanner Kneebone in the background. This could be huge for Sam in this race if he is to try and take this position away from him. This could be absolutely crucial in this one, to see what happens.
Sam is usually one of the more patient drivers. He'll take his points, but at this point, he needs the points. So I wonder if we'll see that aggression come out here.
Yeah, let's wait to see what happens with Sam, but he doesn't need to be too aggressive, to be fair. Yes, he wants to bank all the points, but he is ahead of all his championship rivals, and the biggest one of Gary Leach at the moment, so he's not going to pull that risk too much. Let's not forget, Gray, he was phenomenal here last season.
Yeah, absolutely dominated. I did not commentate on that, but watching back that stream and watching that race, absolutely dominant around here, and he's looking the same tonight.
He is. He's looking the same tonight, and he's looking really for good value for his money at the moment tonight. And he's on the back of Betson. Betson again, who wasn't going to race tonight. He was kind of done with that Aston Martin as Sam. Oh, very close there into the rear of him. Great to see Betson currently leading this race. Tyler de Block's gaining on them too as well. And then you've got Gabino holding up Popovic and Kneebone and Kieran Argent. Further down, Broom is gaining on Peckman within 9/10 of a second. Where did Leach come out? Behind Stardog, behind Hunt. So the SimPlay Racing drivers aren't having it their own way at the moment. Chat is very quiet in there tonight. Everybody must be laser focused on the commentary. The chat is very, very quiet. Ford has been an epic start to this race, but can Forever Forward, who seem to be the strongest team out of the four up for this Constructors title in terms of where they are on the track at the moment. Betterson retakes that net pit lead after Wolski and Sturrock are into the pits. Where's Gary Leach and over Wolski? Wolski's out the pit lane now. In fact, how far ahead is he? He's through turn one, while Gary Leach is just ahead of Malarexan. So Gary's lost a lot of time to Wolski. Big wiggle there for Gary. And now we've got a fight for the bronze championship lead. Stapley, Peckman and nearly Neil Broom just jumped back to Sam momentarily. He's close, but not close enough. The 74 is off. That is Dronelander, who's had a torrid time in recent weeks. And look in the background. There's multiple cars wide. Tan and Ebo going side by side with Popovic as they're gaining on Brian Craig and Gabino. Nebo to the outside line of the chicane. Can't get it done. We've got 5 cars all fighting on track. Popovic is off. Nebo through. Argent through. Where's Sam Greaves? Huge for the constructors. Is he ahead of Popovic? I don't think he is. I think he is now because Popovic has gone right across the circuit. And Johnson may also get him down into the hairpin. And look just behind. That battle for the Bronze Championship is raging on at the moment as class in the chat says they are laser focused. And Broome on the back of Peckman. On the back of Stapley. Oh, what a night this is going to be, Langley.
Oh my good. The good thing if you're Peckman right now is that your championship rival is in sight. You can't lose or gain points too much from here, and that's exactly what he wants. He wants that gap to stay as stationary as possible.
He wants to get ahead, I'm sure he does, and try and get ahead of Stapley, if not onto the back of Johnson and Popovic. Tucker's been into the pit, so this is now for that bronze lead, because Tucker has come out behind them. Just Flores left to pit. Bettison, De Block, Williams, De Block for the lead. Brian Craig fending off Gabino and Kneebone. Argents fell off the back. Johnson trying to get onto the back of Popovic. This for the bronze podium and lead. Gary Leach all over the back of what looks to be Mark Tucker into the old hairpin. Is this Gary Leach through? It is indeed. Thank you, Mama, for the carrots, he'll be saying. And Malarex wants a piece of the action. Through he goes. Also, Mike Stardog. No, he does not. As Dronelander's back in the pits. Where is Millington? He's only 20th place. Hunt's down in 23rd. What a shocker for them. Back to the lead in Bronzo. It's still as it was. As is the gap. But it's not! Tyler De Block's got ahead of Sam Williams!
It's exactly what I was thinking, is that Sam unable to get past Bettison. And let's keep an eye on this, because De Block's not going to have an easy time getting by that Aston Martin either.
And De Block's got nothing to play for, so him and Bettison, gloves off, have a nice little ding-dong fight. Sam Williams has got it all to play for. He cannot get involved in anything here. Tannen Ebone is only 7 seconds back, as here goes Tyler De Block, pulled out to have a look at the top of the crane of curves, now on the inside line, into the old hairpin, contact, De Block and Bettison, and through goes Williams. He leads at Donington Park once again. Sam Williams, is this the moment he needs for that championship?
That's exactly what he was waiting for, and I wonder if he thought that in his mind before letting De Block through initially, and I wonder if he was just playing it that patiently to see if they get into an incident, and it has played out perfectly for him, leading here at Donington again.
Once again, he leads at Donington. Where is Richard Bettison dropped to? He's in the pits, so it gives Gary Leach an extra place, as well as Wolski and Mirko Ricci, who is not in this race either, by the way. But also, look at the Forever Forward cars. 4th and 5th. Let's check bronze briefly. As Broome has passed Stapley in the Bronze Championship race. He is 2nd, and in 11th place, he'd love to get Stapley. Both running Aston Martin. Stapley's had a horrible run through the foggy S's. Here comes Neil Broome to the inside line, down in towards the Melbourne hairpin, and through goes Neil Broome to lead the bronze category and put cars between himself and Peckman.
Crucially for Peckman is that he's only 2 spots behind
Stapley's coming back. Sorry, Langley. Side by side with Broome at the moment. And Stapley back through. But has Broome got a nose there? Ready for that inside line. They've got Wolski in the background, hunting them down. Broome is still on that inside line. Into Redgate corner. Nothing can be done about that there. And that is as it was.
The block's fallen off the back of Sam Williams. 2.5 second gap now. I was going to say, if you're Sam, do you really want to fight the block, who could be in for a penalty anyway? But looking at that gap now, it looks like he's clearing away.
It does look like he's clearing away, but the one thing to mention is Tanner Kneebone's gained on Gabino here. Sam's off! Sam's off! He's in the wall! Sam is in the wall! Tyler De Block is through. Gabino's through. Kneebone on the podium. Argent in nearly 4th place. Sam has to be careful on the rejoin. Through goes Greaves. Through goes Popovic. Brian Craig. Michael Johnson. Oh my days! Sam has stacked it in a wall.
That looked like an issue. That looks like an issue. that doesn't look like a driver mistake because he was going very slow on the grass with no response.
He was indeed, so what a shame that'll be potentially for him. But either way, Tyler De Block is going to come to the line. He's going to win here at Donington Park. Gabino will take second place. Tanner Nebone on the podium. Huge for that Constructors' Championship. Argent fourth, Greaves fifth, Popovic sixth, Craig seventh, Johnson eighth. Stapley will win in bronze and finish P9. And then it will be Neil Broom second, Peckman third, Wolski. Sam's just tumbling down the order. Gary's got ahead of Sam. Sam is back in the pit lane.
Sam's had an issue. Sam has had to have had an issue.
Must have.
That's not a... It has to have had an issue.
Well, Gary Leach has got ahead. That could be championship over for Sam Greaves there. Steve Billington got up to 17th in the end. Not a bad result for Steve. Mirko Ricci down and out in this race. 23rd place for Mirko Ricci. He's had an absolute shocker here in this first one.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I was really hoping for a close championship points difference going into the final round, and unfortunately, Sam's had to return to the pits. That's why. So he's also going to lose a position to Paul Williams and Mirko Ricci here.
Yeah, he is, and he finishes down in 24th place. We will be back, though, after the break in 5 or 10 minutes. We'll see you shortly. Get your breath, get a drink, and we'll see you in a moment. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Are you all sitting comfortable? Because it's qualifying time and the championships have been whittled down a little bit. Gary Leach leads the way from Sam Williams by 80 points. It is going to take a miracle for Sam to do it now. He could have really closed that gap back up. Wolski still in mathematical contention, but needs Gary to retire, take pole, fastest lap, and win the race. So that is pretty much game for Wolski. In terms of the team at the Bronze Championship, 81 points Neil Broom needs over Peckman. Didn't get the amount of points back he needed in race 1 to pull himself closer, but could take pole here, and that'll be crucial for his title race yet again. And in the Constructors, we're down to 2. 161 points separate SimPlay Racing and Forever Forward Racing. 4Q and Greasy Bandits are both out of contention, but both can still get second place, so it is still a bit to play for there, as we are on board with Peckman for this qualifying session at the moment. But while we're on about in the qualifying session, let's take a look at what is coming next season. Because the calendar has been made, no dates have yet been given, and we've also got our night and morning races. Now, I do know that this is a first. In fact, no, Langley, you are now an admin, so you may have seen this if you saw the admin chat yesterday. But I know the viewers at home haven't. So here we go. We'll put it up on screen now. And there we are. There it is. Bathurst to start the season. 90-minute race. Valencia is a morning race for week 2. That will be the normal format of the reverse grid and then the feature. We then head to Spa for week 3 for a 90-minute race. Silverstone will be the evening race for week 4. That will also be a 90-minute race. Monza will be the usual reverse grid and then feature race before Alton Park, which will also be a normal, the normal format of the sprint and feature race. Nürburgring round 7 will be the 90-minute race before Suzuka at night for 90 minutes. Because why not at Suzuka? That'll be week number 8. Bringing us to Zolder for the penultimate round of the season, which will be the reverse grid and feature race. And we end, of course, at SimPlay's home, Donington Park, for a 90-minute race at Donington. That, Langley, sounds beautiful.
Sounds absolutely beautiful, and the 90-minute races were such a hit this season that we had to make it a mainstay on the new calendar, and absolutely looking forward to it. Some amazing races that with twists and turns that can play. Can you imagine Bathurst, 90 minutes to open the season, 90 minutes for drivers to stay out of the walls on the mountain? Yeah, and then not to mention, we still love our good old reverse grid races, and I see Alton Park in there as a reverse grid race. So you can definitely imagine already. Oh, Suzuka, what do you mean, Beefy? In the chat, Suzuka is an absolutely great race to have 90 minutes. Absolutely. It's all about the mentality and can you keep it out the wall in those races and can you keep it consistent? And some of these tracks, just like Spa, Silverstone, Suzuka, especially Bathurst for first race of the season.
What an opener.
That is some opener. With everyone wanting to start off their season on a high note, that's definitely going to bring in the season with a bang.
And if you're wondering why it only says Wednesday and Thursday, well, last night here at SimPlay Motorsport, we made the announcement of this. That's right, Le Mans Ultimate is coming to SimPlay Motorsport for the Tuesday night series. And the first season is the Circuit de la Sarthe at Le Mans. Bahrain will be week number 2. That is the endurance calendar. Monza for week 3 with Spa, week number 4. Sebring will be week 5 with Fuji, week 6. And Portimao will be week number 7. That is your calendar for the first ever Le Mans Ultimate Championship here on SimPlay Motorsport. It will not be known as the Who Darren Cup. The Who Darren Cup is going to stay as a console-named league and will be back in the future. So that last night was the last Who Darren Cup race on SimPlay Motorsport for a while. It will make its return. Don't fret about that one. As I'm seeing at the moment, actually, Langley, Popovic is qualifying at the moment. So that will be straight into the steward's room. But there is your Le Mans Ultimate calendar. And I think, Gray, when you look at them calendars, we've got two absolute beauts. We've just seen the ACC one with Bathurst, Spa, Monza, Silverstone, Nürburgring. 90-minute races, 6 of them. And then you see a brand new era of SimPlay, LMU, with places like Le Mans, Bahrain, Sebring, Fuji. We've not done... and in fact, I said this last night, and I'll say it now. Sebring for SimPlay Motorsport is a brand new track. Never done Sebring. We've done Bahrain on the Formula 1 games, and we've done Fuji and Portimao, which is Algarve, on Project Cars 2. So Sebring will make its debut on SimPlay.
And have you done... SimPlay has never done Le Mans either, correct?
We've done Le Mans in a special 2.4-hour race on Project Cars 2.
Ah, gotcha. But never in a championship race.
No.
So 2 debuts, and also 5 out of the 7 tracks on this calendar are tracks that you don't get on ACC. Mm-hmm. So it is a very different animal to tackle, to be honest, and very much looking forward to seeing how this season plays out, and we're spreading our league to a different platform as well. And for anyone out there watching who might have a PC or might want to get into either ACC or Le Mans Ultimate in this case, those LMU tracks are the base game tracks. You do not need to buy a DLC pack for those 7 tracks. They come with the base game. We're running that for the first season, so it is more inviting to someone who wants to try LMU for the first time within a championship format. And yeah, very excited to have that next season. Still haven't finalized the car classes yet.
Tucker's just gone pole in bronze, sorry. Go on, Tucker.
Wow. Have not fully finalized the car classes yet. We know what one of them will be. We have not finalized the second car class yet, but will be soon, and looking very much forward to that for next season.
Keep your eyes peeled on our social media, Facebook and Instagram, as well as if you're in the Discord and on SimGrid for what the race distance will be as well, because that's something that's up for discussion. We've got a rough idea of cars and session lengths, so keep your eyes out for that. And I'm just reading through the chats here. Legendary Calendar says, Jimenez, a lot of 90-minute races, better get to the gym and work on the gun, says Cherry Moore. Brad Dunk saying, I like the calendar. Jamal saying, my sort of calendar. And Brad replying with banger of a calendar, actually. Before Jamal and Brad in full capitals, let's go. And yes, for the LMU announcement. Cummins saying, you'll be seeing me in my orange and blue McLaren in Pro-Am next season. Brad saying, I'm looking forward to LMU. All free tracks too for everyone. And I so need a PC, says Class. As we are watching a few of the drivers. Popovic shouldn't be out there, so that'll be taken to the steward's room. But Tucker currently on provisional pole in that bronze category in what is a pretty tight qualifying when you consider it's 7 tenths separating the top 6 of them.
Yeah, and...
Oh, not no more.
Yeah, not anymore, as Neil Broom puts a half a second's gap worth to the rest of the field, showing that pace from practice. And he'll get one more lap in, too.
Yeah, he will. I think the only driver not to get another lap in this bronze category is Malarex. So 45 is off, so Stapley's not going to improve. I think it's only actually Broom who's on a valid lap, because Tucker's just invalidated, so it's Broom who's going to be the only one to finish qualifying off here. Popovic will obviously be in the steward's room after this one. And here comes Neil Broom, rounds the final corner. Malarex rounds the final corner. Does he improve? No, he does not. So just Neil Broom left to go, who he's already got now that pole position to his name for Donington Park race 2. So only it's a point less.
It's very interesting. I wonder, because he's abided by the rules before.
Yeah.
Which is, so I wonder if he thinks you can't carry a penalty over into next season. My sir, that is admin's discretion.
You have
and
not
so
read the rules correctly, my sir.
That is admin's discretion on whether you carry a penalty in the next season. So, if that is taking advantage of a loophole in the rules, I regret to inform you it's not a loophole. So,
You will have that qualifying ban for the 90-minute race at
90-minute race at
next season. That seems like the place to have a quali ban, doesn't it? As Neil Broom has finished and did actually improve a little bit there. So Neil Broom does improve as Sam Williams' wheel
great
issues.
qualifying from him.
Huge.
6/10.
And Popovich isn't no slouch. I know he shouldn't have been out there, but he's no slouch. So that's a good lap time from Broom. 0.4 of a second off the back of Popovich.
Yeah, 6/10 to the rest of the bronze field. Absolutely massive. He's put in the work for this one. Again, he would need to basically win outright, and Peckman not finish to overtake him in the championship. But you've seen crazier things happen, I guess, in this lifetime. So never say never. And Sam Williams basically needs the same thing to happen for Gary Leach, a disconnect with him taking pole. I do expect Sam to take pole. I can even say I think he'll get fastest lap in the win. He's absolutely rapid around here. Has been the last 2 seasons. Absolutely heartbroken that he can't make a championship fight out of it anymore because of wheel issues.
It is what it is, isn't it? But my God, what an entertaining race one it was, wasn't it? My days, it had a bit of everything, didn't it, Langley, that first race, as we see in the silver drivers out there for qualifying now. It was just unbelievable how good that first race really was. It was so good that it was just in 15 minutes. All that drama happened in 15 minutes. We've got an hour to come up now.
Yeah, an hour for complete action and chaos, and I'd like to see how high Neil Broom gets up this grid, because.
Sorry, I've just read Jamal's comment. He says, am I correct that I saw Alton Park for 90 minutes? No, Alton Park will be the normal format of
but you do get a reverse grid Alton Park, so that's...
Then,
oh, boy.
Yeah, and then thingy. Last time we raced Alton Park, a certain someone put it on pole for race 2. We know what happened at turn 1 that night. A bit like Arsenal's season in the Premier League, it derailed.
Or de-wheeled.
De-wheeled.
In this case.
Come on, we got one in there. We missed the one on Gary in race 1. We missed the one on Gary. I twigged as we was off air. We've got one in there. Sorry if there's any Arsenal fans in the chat, but yeah.
Why sorry?
I don't want people to think I'm a Man City fan. Let me just make it clear. We're Athletic. We're in League 1. We're absolute trash. We've only just stayed up in League 1. Let me make that clear. I hate City, but it's just funny to see Arsenal drop off like this at this point. Anyway, 6 minutes left of qualifying.
And I'm just some stinky American. I shouldn't even be talking about this sport according to some people.
Gives it the wrong name. Football. Is Popovich still pole position at the moment from Hunt, Stardog, Gabina?
Stardog up there. But now I'm 4th, but what a lap from Neil Broom. I think he'll have himself well in the top 10 here, even after everyone cycles through.
We're what? We're 5 minutes, just under 6 minutes left of this session. Where's the heavy hitters? Where's Williams? Didn't set a lap time, did Sam Williams. He's coming through the final corner now before Tan and Ebone. Gary Leach is 9 seconds off the pace. He probably went to pick his chips up from the crane of curves. And Sam Williams top of the timing towers by half a second. Tan and Ebone moves into 3rd place. Kieran Argent's about to come to the line. Kieran Argent didn't get a lap time on the board, and he still hasn't got a lap time on the board. What about Wolski, who's down in 8th? Stays P8. What about Millington, who's 17th? He walked this track on Saturday night, so he should be good at it. Moves up to P13. Too many cars are coming through, not enough numbers. The 663 of Michael Johnson is coming round at the moment. And what is he going to be able to do as he crosses the line, stays P17. Mirko Ricci, who is struggling in 11th, stays 11th. Next, Aston Martin. That could be Betterson or Williams. And I've gone on the wrong one. It was Betterson. Stardog, he stays P3. Good lap from him. Is that Hunt to the line? No, so it must be Greaves. We've missed Greaves. We'll stay on Hunt as he comes round the final corner now. The next car will be Gary Leach. Gareth Henderson says, surely nobody likes Arsenal. Sadly, Kieran Argent does. And I'll ridicule him all night if they when City win. Gary Leach moves right up into 7th. Dronelander, he's coming to the line now. Now, he's really fell off the... the edge of a cliff this season. Like, his pace has just died all of a sudden.
Yeah, not sure where it went. I wonder if he's just started rocking up without any practice, and makes it more confusing on some of us who have to sort out where everyone is going, because we almost have to base it off what your peak potential is in terms of pace. And it's very confusing sometimes. And yeah, Sam out in front, dominating the rest of the field, would have made a good race of this. Stardog up in third. Hats off to him. Has not been toward the sharp end of the grid this season. Third would be very impressive for him in this one.
It would be very impressive for him in this one, and let's see what happens as Johnson moves up to 9th. Mirko Ricci down now in 16th place, comes across the line and shoots himself up onto the front row of the grid. It's not quite the pace of Sam Williams. Still got to find some 4/10. Stardog down in 4th place now. Doesn't improve there as here comes Hunt once again. We've missed Greaves, who's down in 16th place. There's the Lamborghini of Gabino. Let's try and find Hunt once again, who's up into 6th. There's Flores coming across the line now. The 74 will be the next car to cross the line as they come through. Jamal's telling me off. Don't start, Matt. Look what you've started. Sorry, Jamal. Apologies. Didn't need to start anything. Wolski next across the line on a valid lap. Matt Wright saying, I've got a tough decision. Gym, ACC practice, or watch this pure racing magic. Watch this pure racing magic. Turn off, load FIFA, job done.
He can do 2 of them. You can go to the gym and listen or watch at the same time.
Stand your phone up on the thing on the treadmill and watch it.
Yeah, exactly.
Great shout. Wainwright saying, best of luck to those fighting for the title. Phil Atherton, evening, loving the race. Do not know what I'm going to do next season for season 11. But yep, okay. Righty, you know there's only one correct answer. And there is only one correct answer. That's stay at home, watch this, and get ready to play some football.
As long as it involves this, as long as it involves watching the stream, that's what you need in your life right now.
And don't forget, if you are new, please do check out our fantastic sponsor in the description below, Design Manchester, producers of laser engraved gifts. I can never remember it, so let me load it up. Laser engraved gifts, vinyl graphics, mugs, printed clothing, and much more, including SimPlay Motorsport merchandise. Head over to Design Manchester on Facebook, as well as...
Good evening. What did I miss in race 1? Benny Vargas says in the chat. Sam was on to... Sam was on to cut the championship lead pretty much in half and make a fight out of this. And his wheel decided to Alt F4 itself. So, yeah, it very unfortunate. He basically needs Gary to disconnect from this race while also picking up the win.
Which might happen because Gary's daughter's messing with his wheel. So,
yeah,
it may happen. As well as, don't forget, as I was going to say, hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, because we need 1 subscriber to get to 1.2 thousand subscribers. Thank you so much again for a beautiful season once again. As Argent moves up to P15 and hit the bell to be notified, because me, and I believe Mr. Tan and Ebone, could be Constructors Champion Tan and Ebone, is joining me in the commentary box tomorrow evening for that one. Drivers starting final laps. Now, it's been a busy old circuit. There's a real good gap. Whoever the 840 is, that is Tyler DeBlock. He has got a wonderful gap. So has Sam Williams. Everybody else seemed pretty much congested up with each other.
Yeah, I don't think Sam Williams is going to find much more time. A 26.7 out there is pretty rapid, and honestly, he's going to be. It's going to be fun to see him next season, possibly mixing it up with the pros. Because on his night, he is absolutely rapid, and is just not falling his way this season.
There you go. B-Dunk is our 1,200th subscriber. It hasn't refreshed yet, so it still says 1199. Now it says 1,200. Why? I can't believe Brad wasn't subscribed.
Wow, you weren't subscribed.
That's crazy.
Wow.
That is crazy from Brad. Wait till we speak with him as De Block finishes his... No, in fact, De Block just snuck an extra lap time in. Well, thank you, Bradley. Steve Millington will be the first man to finish qualifying out on the circuit. Then it will be Gary Leach. Gary down in 15th place. Is it possible to say swear words in here? I'm very drunk and here for the racing and celebrations after last night. swear in the chat or you want me and Langley will try not to read it out afterwards. As Steve Millington pops one into fourth right at the end. Hello.
Wow, that'll help SimPlay in the constructors. Was looking a bit sketchy, wasn't it? I guess all those track walks did help this weekend.
We did one.
Oh, sorry. You could have done more than one, but
we 100% could have done more than one. But Friday we was too busy on Mike's sim rig at
Huffing
the 10.
and puffing, that's why.
Oh, mate, we're not fit enough. None of us was fit enough to do more than one track walk. Took us 44 minutes to do one lap. In fact, I'll read you the statistics, Langley, because I struggled.
It's not even the full circuit, is it?
No,
it wasn't even the full circuit.
No, it was the national circuit as well. So we didn't do this bit where the block is now. Let me read you the statistics of our walk on Saturday evening. Strava
210 BPM.
No, you can't see it. It's too bright. Me, activities. There we go, look. We walked 2.05 mile in 48 minutes 53 seconds.
The block pops it up into P3 right at the end there as well.
He does. So there we go. So yeah, 48 minutes 53 seconds to walk 2.05 miles. So there you go. Make that what you will.
Try to go any slower.
I mean, we was looking for bits of bodywork after the cars decided to shed a few pieces here and there.
Oh, you mean when the 55 decided to hit someone off and take after the great Mathew Duffin?
If you actually ask me, the car that wasn't the 55 turned in on the other car, and it was a train wreck. What are we reading in the chat? Oops, says Brad. I thought I was. Whoops. Jimenez didn't press enter lol, but I'm notoriously bad at Suzuka. Keep up, Jimenez. That was half an hour ago. Jeez.
I just read Matt Wright's one.
Benny Varga, I still remember when we were rooting for 500 subs. I'm proud. Yeah, Benny, back in the days when you was commentating. Matt Wright, I hear you, Gareth. You're right. I should probably get down the gym. Ah, dear. Jimenez again. LMU calendar looks good. Going to see if Gordon will join. That'd be good to have Gordon Ramsay on the field. Gordon on a Tuesday, Beefy on a Thursday. What more could you ask for? Cairns, there may be a trophy with my name on it. I don't know. Should be a trophy with your name on it. And B-Dunk again. I mean, to be fair, the national circuit at Donington is better than the full out. 100%.
That's very true.
Yeah, 100%.
That's very true.
Couldn't agree with that more. Couldn't agree with that more.
That is very true.
Let's run through the grid order then. Go on, Langus. I'll let you get that thought up before you forget.
I'm saying the final parts of the full circuit of this are absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
The only good thing is the chicane.
Yeah.
That's about it. Because those last two corners are absolutely train wreckers.
Yeah, I agree. I fully agree with you. Sam Williams starts on the front row with Mirko Ricci. Tyler de Block from Steve Millington. Popovich alongside Wolski. Stardog from Hunt. Gabino from Johnson with Gary Leach alongside Kneebone. Neil Broom qualifies in that bronze pole position in 13th place from Diego Flores. Sturrock from Greaves with Craig, then Argent. Bettison will start from the pits. It will then be Tucker, Peckman, Malarek, Stapley, Privet, Paul Williams, Dronelander and Taylor at the back of the grid for the final time this season. So as we're about to get ready to get underway here in this race, let's see what happens. Class walked around Spa 3 times in 2 hours. Pretty impressive. That is pretty impressive. Jimenez is cooking, making wings and nuggets. So let's say if Sam won't run out of fuel, where does Gary need to finish to get the title? Gary just needs to finish in this race, Benny Varga. Yeah, so let's get a poll up and running for who is going to win this race. And let's see who will do what here then, because we've got a nice looking grid in front of us to keep ourselves entertained as we get ready to watch the final race of the season. The final moments of Pro-Am for Season 10. Season 11 right around the corner. We normally have our 6 to 8 week break that we normally have, and then we'll be back for that new season and ready to go once again here at SimPlay Motorsport. They enter down the SimPlay straight now. And who is going to do what? Langley has just joined us back. I will pick, or will ask him for who he thinks he's going to win race 2. So, great. Who is it? Who are you backing in this one?
The only sensible choice around this track is Sam Williams, honestly. And honestly, with the pace he's shown tonight, Neil Broom is also the only sensible choice in the bronze category.
Fair enough. This is the gap he needed in race 1, sadly. Yeah, it's hard to look past Sam Williams and Neil Broom for the race wins, but let's see what happens. Who takes the titles, Langley? Leach, Williams or Wolski?
If Sam actually ended up winning race 1, I would say Sam in this case, because Gary would have chances to be involved in incidents. Bar a disconnect, it's going to be Gary.
Peckman or Broom?
Bar a disconnect, it's going to be Peckman. Because Peckman's right down there in the bronze class as well.
SimPlay or Forever Forward?
Ooh. Whoever can keep it the cleanest. Actually, Steve's lap is going to really help him here.
Yeah.
So I'll say SimPlay.
It is indeed. Well, we're about to get underway. Can SimPlay make history for having the first same driver lineup to win the back-to-back Constructors' Championships? We are green and go, and Mirko Ricci has gone with Sam Williams round the outside of Redgate as Popovic looks up the inside of Steve Millington. De Block now comes alongside Mirko Ricci. Ricci's probably going to lose off the back of Sam. Oh, De Block and Ricci make contact. Ricci's around, manages to keep it all together in the Craners, and somehow they all keep pointing in the right direction in this race. What a good start though for Sam Williams out front. He's got that lead early doors, and that is exactly what he needs, Langley.
That is exactly what he needs, and he did it. He got up to the lead. He did all the hard work in race 1, and this is just the easy sailing part for him. I'll be honest, watching back that De Block and Mirko Ricci incident, as Stardog had a massive slide and is now dropping down the order. Looking back at that incident, it looked like Ricci squeezed De Block quite a lot, causing that incident.
It did indeed. Broom's now going side by side with Kieran Argent down the SimPlay straight. Further forward, Tanner and Sturrock are going side by side as well. Argent tries to go around the outside of Broom, gets the move done on Broom, and that compromises Broom's run through the chicane. And here comes Sam Greaves now to look up the inside of Broom. Maybe look up the inside of Kieran Argent. Is he later on the brakes? No, he's not. Broom's going to try and hold this strong around the outside. It will give him the inside line into Goddard, and he has still kept it there. So Neil Broom driving really well at the moment. The Team Merlot cars in the background are duking it out. Peckman isn't as far behind Broom, who goes deep at Goddard, and Sam Greaves gets through, as does Tucker for the lead in bronze now.
Wow. Would not have thought that at the beginning of tonight. Tucker has had an absolute great weekend here at Donington, driving absolutely brilliantly.
He is indeed, as we're watching Tanner Kneebone. He did get past Stardog for a moment. He's dropped back behind him now, and Sturrock and Argent going side by side down the Craners. Is Argent going to have a look up the inside into the old hairpin? Well, he stuck the nose there, but Sturrock manages to get through it nice and easy. What a drive, what a bit of racing that is. Look at further forward. Gary Leach was 3 wide with Flores and Johnson in that one, and Popovic is now in there. He's tumbled down the order, was up to second. He's now behind this pack of cars, so it's Williams from De Block. Millington going with Tyler De Block here. Millington showing that he might have a bit of pace around Donington Park this evening after walking it and getting to grips with the circuit. But look at this train of cars behind Diego Flores.
Yeah, look at that absolute cork in the bottle right now.
This is Mark Tucker, just coming down at the moment, leading that bronze category, but Neil Broom is right on the back of him. That's Tanner Kneebone. What has happened there? Argent, I thought, was going to send one into the back of his teammate. It's all a little scruffy in this mid-pack so far. Popovic and Stardog side by side coming up to Goddard, and I think Kneebone may have got caught out with how slow they was.
Yeah, and I will say, these last two
the
corners
59's
are...
off. Sorry, the 59 yellow flag on the track map. That's Steve Millington.
That's Steve.
Who's backwards at the Goddard hairpin. Something may have happened there, I wonder.
I wonder if he did get caught up in an incident there, and it would make the most sense because he does not have too much damage on his car. And yeah, I was going to say, those last two corners are a dive bomber's paradise. Yeah. Pretty much.
They really are. Where's the gap now? Flores trying to gain on Gabino, who's behind Hunt. So Ricci on the back of De Block. Oh, my knees just clicked.
Yeah, so Ricci on the back of De Block, and he's under a lot of pressure here. from Wolski going into this back half, and Sam Williams is absolutely far and away now from the rest of this pack, driving brilliantly. And yeah, Wolski putting a lot of pressure under Richie here. Is he going to have a look at these final two corners? Can't do it at the first one. And now looking further back, and the pack, absolute scrap down the field again. Cars going side by side. Can Kneebone hold it round the outside of Stardog? And does. Will have the inside for the final corner as well. As they go onto the main straight now, Kneebone will keep that position. And it will leave the door open, though, for Kieran Argent. Possibly, but gets a bit checked up at that final corner, and they stay all as they were. Big scrap down the pack, as well as Peckman is trying to get involved with the likes of Malarex and Greaves. Neil Broom still leads the bronze class, but does not have the same gap of cars in between them as he did at the start of this one.
No, he doesn't indeed, and Peckman now is coming under pressure side by side with Sam Greaves at the moment. So Sam Greaves just looking to put the McLaren and the bronze leader under pressure, and he does so and gets through. Tucker's dropped back down to 4th place in bronze, so he'll look to try and get past Peckman as well. Further forward, though, we've still got this train of cars, all really behind that of I'd say Johnson at the moment, because there's Popovich, there's Kneebone, there's Stardog, who's across the gravel. Him and Kieran Argent both across the gravel there. Did Kieran send one up the inside at the chicane because he's yielding all that time to let Stardog have the place back, and now he's coming under pressure from Sturrock, so I think Argent may have caused an incident there.
Yeah, getting involved in incidents. Maybe keep the wheels on the bus this time around, though. And down in 12th right now. Good job to give the position up and still not lose an extra one to Sturrock.
Yeah, he's done well there indeed, as Neil Broom is gaining on the back of Diego Flores. So can Broom start to put cars between himself and Peckman? Peckman's still under pressure from Tucker, as Peckman's actually got back ahead of Greaves at the moment, and this is Tucker looking to get past Greaves. We've got Millington.
It's an absolute scrap down the pack.
It really is a scrap down the pack. Millington going up the inside of Staples. That's Millington back up another position. So a good move there for him. And further forward, look at Mirko Ricci under pressure from Wolski and Tyler de Block at the moment. Hunt under pressure from Gabino. Leach under pressure from Johnson, who's pulling away slightly from Popovich, who's got Tanner Kneebone for company. Bit of a gap back to Stardog. And this is where Kieran Argent is. Let's go on board Kieran Argent as they come through Coppice on towards the SimPlay straight. This is where Argent last lap looked like he cut the chicane and tapped the rear of Stardog. Well, let's see what Stardog can do now, what Kieran can do now, then onto the back of Kieran Argent in towards the Foggy S's, and both get through nice and comfortably. Down furthermore, there is Flores under pressure from Neil Broom and Malarex. In this one, Peckman still under pressure from Greaves with Tucker, Brian Craig, Privet, Steve Millington, who gets an almighty run on Privet there, coming down in towards the Melbourne hairpin. So Millington looking racy at the moment, looking like he's trying to put his foot back down. There goes Betterson on Paul Williams, the black and blue racing drivers just swapping places there. And Steve looks like he has the run now on Privet, coming up towards Goddard's as he's going to try and get up that inside line.
Yeah, I'm sure Betterson will be eager to get out of that Aston Martin and back into a car he enjoys driving. It's going to be fun watching him next season, back knowing what we know he can do when he has a car underneath him. It has just not gone his way this season.
No, it hasn't. He's just struggled, hasn't he? And he's not been able to find any rhythm in that car at all this season. So Millington not able to get through. Johnson close to Gary, who's twitching all over the place there. And Johnson's going to have a look at the blind entry of Coppice. Gary goes a little wider to give him that room, but Johnson can't get through. The BM now should be better down the SimPlay straight than that of the Porsche. And you've got Popovich and Tanner coming in the background, as well as Stardog, Argent, and now Sturrock on the having a three-way fight further back. This is down on board with Stardog. There you see Sturrock and Argent. Flores has still got Neil Broom, who's just started to gap that of Malarex now. And Peckman's still under pressure from Greaves, who started to pull away from the Lamborghini. Steve still looking to get past that of Privet as they come through the chicane. Not a great run for Steve. and that'll just drop him back a little bit more. But out front, 8 seconds, Mirko Ricci to Sam Williams. And Ricci hanging on in there over Wolski and De Block right now.
Yes, Sam, it's been almost 9 minutes, and he has almost a 9-second gap. So pulling almost a second per minute, not a second per lap, but a second per minute on these guys.
Absolutely incredible, as Johnson's just got up the inside on Gary Leach and makes the move there into turn number 1. So Gary drops down a position. And he said, we popped into the chat earlier on, and Gary said he was just struggling, Langley, didn't he? Just can't seem to get his BMW to work around here.
Yeah, the BM is it's under-bopped at some places, to be fair, but this is one track where it is absolutely over-bopped. 31 kilos feels a bit overkill, where I feel like at a place like Imola, it should have 31 kilos.
Yes, yeah, I agree. Absolutely overpowered at him, a little bit, like you say, underbopped. Well, here comes Steve Millington. Is that the change for Team Merlo? It is. That's Brian Craig and Tucker getting past each other, so they've made a move there. Further forward, Tanner now getting onto the back of Gary Leach a little bit more. And Popovic is waiting in the wing. So Tanner's actually got ahead of Popovic now. So Tanner could be up for driving. Oh, Popovic into the back of Nebo there. And this has brought Stardog, Argent and Sturrock onto the back of this train now.
Yeah, and it's a little bit... when one car checks up, it checks up down the rest of that train. And I think Tanner played his cards right, got by Popovic, and probably, as Popovic does dip into the pits, probably feels like he's got a bit more pace than Gary right in front. Honestly, Gary and Sam are both racing pretty much freely now. The championship's out of both of their hands, honestly. Yeah. Especially Gary. Championship's out of his hands. The only way he'd lose it is if he disconnect and couldn't rejoin.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens as the race goes on. Tyler De Block's Wolski's lost a bit of time to Ricci. Gabino not able to gain as much anymore. Closest fight is that Steve Millington Tucker battle, because he's got ahead of Privet and he's got ahead of Stapley, and now him and Tucker just have a bit of door-to-door contact there, coming up towards the Schwantz curve in towards McLean. Steve Millington outbrakes himself onto the grass, loses to Stapley, loses to Privet. There goes Paul Williams, and possibly as well Dronelander. I think Steve's got back going. Yes, he has, but Dronelander will come up the inside at Coppice. So Steve Millington there, his own mistake, and off he goes.
Yeah, his own mistake. And I do have a question for you, Matt. Not sure if you can do it. If Sam had ended up winning that first race.
Sorry.
If Sam had ended up winning that first race.
Yeah.
What would it look like? How many points would he have needed?
What, so Gary finishing one place down, so Gary would have been...
Well, don't even calculate that. 14th. Just calculate the points Sam would have got.
Oh, I'm doing it now. So Sam would have been 12 points behind.
Oh, my goodness.
With Gary obviously finishing 14th, because Sam would have been at the top, it would have been 14 points the gap, which would have meant... Let me work it out for you. If this was the case, he's probably going to hate us for working this out.
Oh, I wanted to. I'll be honest. I wanted to ask the question in the team chat, but I refrained myself from doing so because I didn't want him to know.
Sam would have won the championship by nearly 20 points as it stands had he won race one.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Sadly, that is not the way the cookie crumbles. So, yeah, let's see what will happen here. This is De Block on Wolski at the moment. Cabino right on the rear of Hunt as well. But yeah, what a shame for Sam. You know, he's come on leaps and bounds all season, hasn't he? After a poor start, we know what happened at Hungaroring, and he's really looked good value for his money, but has just had at times some unlucky moments.
Yeah, and we'll get into, because we'll both give our drivers at the season at the end of the towards. Well,
Wolski's had a moment. What's this? Wolski is towards the pit exit and has got massive damage and has dropped down from third. So what has just happened to Wolski there? It's behind Gary Leach.
That seems like an incident on the start-finish straight. I hate to say it, but that usually means you got dumped into the inside wall.
Yeah, and he was with De Block, wasn't he? So I'm wondering as to blocking him had a coming together
Goodness. I've heard De Block's name quite a lot tonight around incidents. Race 1 with Bettison. He was around Steve Millington as well when Steve went down the pack the first time. And Michael Johnson is still fighting to stay ahead of Gary Leach here. Might be down on power on this straight, though.
Yeah, look at Tanner Kneebone trying to pull side by side with Wolski. With Wolski's damage, Johnson, poor run through the foggy S's. Gary, though, sliding through the foggy S's. And Gary is now coming under pressure from Wolski, but also Tanner Kneebone. Nearly 3 BMWs abreast in towards Melbourne Hairpin. And thankfully, they all get through it all okay as Gary filters back in front of Wolski there.
That was right on the edge from Wolski, going into that penultimate corner.
Gary is struggling with this BMW. He's so loose out of every corner at the moment. He's being put under a lot of pressure.
Wonder if it's worth just upping his TC a little bit. I know it's slower, but it might be quicker than drifting on the outside or drifting on the exit of every corner.
Well, now that Johnson's pulled away, look, we've now been given Stardog and Argent to join onto the back of this train, with Wolski with damage. So we've arguably got, if Steve Millington was in this fight, we've got three of the 4 championship contenders at the beginning of the night. Tyler de Block's off. Just seen him rejoining in the background. So Tyler de Block has tumbled all the way down. Might even be behind Sturrock here.
That moves Hunt up onto the podium.
Yeah, it does indeed. So Hunt onto the podium. Gabino up to 4th. And Gary and Stardog have made contact. So Wolski and Tanner's got through. And now Kieran Orger made fancy run on Gary Leach. Stardog is around on the exit of Coppice. Manages to get it out of harm's way. And Gary Leach stays ahead of Kieran Orger. And now he's had to go across the chicane. What is going on with Gary here?
Oh, my goodness. Oh, man. It breaks my heart from a racing standpoint that we don't have a championship fight to worry about with this right now.
Gabino's lost out to Johnson, and Johnson's all over the back of Hunt for 3rd place all of a sudden. So if them two came together as well.
I have no idea.
What is going on?
BMWs are absolute carnage tonight, aren't they?
Well, they're all up there pretty much, but yeah, they're all struggling in their own manner. Here, Wolski's driving with a wounded BMW. Gary's wants to just drive off everywhere as he's had another moment out of Redgate, and Argent passes him at the top of Hollywood. Johnson's about to try and pass Hunt. Oh my days, what is going on? What's happening with Neil Broom? He's got ahead of Diego Flores. He's 3.9 off the back of Sturrock. And he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cars between himself and Peckman. And a drive-through penalty, Tyler de Block for track limits.
That seems a weird spot to pick it up as well. Yeah. You can get track limits. Usually you're getting them at the fast chicane, though. If you are picking any up, you have to really cut a corner in that middle sector to get a track limit strike.
Yeah, down the Craner curves. Sam Williams, 12 seconds clear of Mirko Ricci, who himself is 11 seconds clear of Hunt. The 63 has had a spin. That is Privet, who has done his pit stop. He is off. That is coming through the old hairpin. So what a shame for Privet there. Kneebone's on the back of Wolski, though. So Wolski trying to fend off Tanner Kneebone at the moment. Tanner's looked really good tonight. 3rd place in race 1. And I'm not going to bet against him for a podium in race 2 here.
I don't think it's enough, but as they run, if they were to finish the way they are, we'll see if Tanner can gain points on this. And Kieran's lost back out to Gary Leach somewhere, so we'll see if he can make the move stick this time, or not.
Well, he tried to make it stick. He slid his way through the corner, but it stuck in the end. It found some grip. As Tanner here getting closer to Wolski. Wolski off once more. So if it stays as it is, Wolski would finish on 1,030, and Tanner would finish.
I was gonna say the team standings, because Millington's way down the pack right now.
Yep, let me sort the teams out now. Sorry.
Looks like Tanner might grab 6th here, but could still be for 7th and 9th right now for Forever Forward, and then Gary in 8th. Steve's so far down that he's lower than Richard Bettison in 22nd, down in 23rd.
Forever Forward would lose the championship by 125 points. They need pretty much 1-2s, with Steve and Gary both finishing right down the order.
Yeah.
As Wolski, little wiggle out the exit of the hairpin. Here comes Tanner Kneebone. Nice to be able to just calm down a little bit. Exit of old hairpin can get you with track limits. That is Gabino going very wide at the Goddard's hairpin further forward. And, Wolski really slow because he wanted to get into the pit lane, but Tanner was on his inside line, so he had to really check up and come into the pits then. So Wolski's in for his stop. We're approaching that 40-minute mark. This is Paul Williams with Peckman on the rear of him. And now let's see what happens at the moment.
Yeah, Paul Williams going really deep, opening the door for Peckman up onto the main straight, and it looks like Peckman's got this one covered in the championship, and honestly, it looked like it was Cherry Moore's to lose for the most of the season, and we know he had some personal issues as well, on top of some troubles out on track, so thoughts out to him as well. We know he'll be back strong next season. But it did look like Cherry Moore's to lose for most of the season. It wasn't until about midway at Watkins Glen where Peckman really started to put in those results. And it's going to really pay off for him with a championship bout this year.
Yeah, indeed it is. So we'll see what Tanner Kneebone can now do. Who's the 75? That is Dronelander and Bettison, who's both had a yellow flag and both been off the circuit at McLean's. They're both back on. Doesn't look massive damage to either car. That's allowed Steve Millington to pass them both then, and he's still a couple of seconds now off the back of Paul Williams. Peckman now looking to put Tucker under some pressure. Still with Paul Williams there. Stapley's not a million miles up the road, and Stardog's down in 15th, so see what they can do. Malarek's gaining on Brian Craig. It was 3.9 for Broome to Sturrock a few laps ago. It's now 2.9. So he's chipping away at Sturrock's gap as well, is Neil Broome there.
Very good drive from him tonight. Absolutely. He's showing his pace and what he can do sometimes in that bronze category. As
Tanner's off. Tanner Kneebone. He's off.
Oh, boy.
So he was ahead of these two. He's now lost out to the pair of them, and Gary Leach moves up to 6th, Argent up to 7th. And I'm seeing in the chat Mike Wright saying that Tyler de Block has retired. Indeed he has. He's no longer there. So that is a retirement for Tyler de Block. What a shame. That'll carry him a qualifying ban.
Oh, Gary's off. Gary's off. I know you're looking away. Gary was off at that corner and now loses 2 positions to Kieran Argent and Tanner Kneebone, the Forever Ford cars.
Yeah, indeed he has. He's been off. Johnson all over the back of Hunt there.
BMW's off everywhere.
They are. They just look so unstable. The 74's off again. That's Dronelander who's off once more. Jimenez in the chat saying Tom's wheel is going to disconnect again. Tom who? Here
boy.
Comes Johnson. Does he mean Sam?
Tom Cardno. No, I think he means Cardno.
Cardno's in Pro tomorrow night.
Still, I think they're saying with the both of them.
Right, fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. Here comes Johnson then. I had a look at Hunt, but couldn't do anything about it. These two just pulling away from Gabino a little bit. This puts Argent up in 6th again. Another driver who's had a good night tonight. 4th place and a 6th place. I wonder what happened to Tanner. I wonder if he just got on that outside curb at the old hairpin. Look at this fight though in bronze. This is all for 3rd place in bronze between Tucker, Peckman and Stapley.
Yeah, and the fight for the podium. Johnson just cannot get by Hunt right now. That Porsche, not a strong car in a straight line, and is having difficulties getting by. But yeah, this fight for the podium and bronze as well. Mark Tucker's had a great night of racing, just trying to keep his nose clean and maybe squeak out a podium in this.
Yeah, let's see what happens for Johnson then, as we're just seeing this bronze podium fight at the moment, and that is, oh no, bit of contact. Tucker on Stapley. Stapley wide. Tucker lifts off to let them through, and through goes Peckman, who gains 2 places. Great opportunistic move there from Peckman. Tucker did the right thing. He tapped Stapley and immediately let Stapley back through, as the 74 of Dronelander has had another spin here. And yeah, not sure what Dronelander is doing at the moment, but he just doesn't look like the drone lander of old.
No, and not sure if it's the car or other things or yeah, just does not look like what he used to be up in the top 10 quite consistently.
Well, he's in the pits now, and Greaves is trying to get past Brian Craig. Back further forward to Johnson, though, as Matt Wright saying, these BMWs are really filling me with confidence tomorrow. Tyler DeBlock retired because it's the last race and I was getting track warnings in places.
Yeah, no.
75 drive-through penalty for track limits. Richard Bettison, track limits now, so drive-through penalty for him. Yeah, we'll leave that one. Gary's coming under pressure from Sturrock here, and Sturrock's still being caught by Broom. So could Broom, leader in the bronze race, about to pass the potentially silver champion?
Yeah, we potentially, and it's not been a great night for Gary. It still might work out in his favor, and it should work out in his favor. He's had a few things fall his way tonight. Although he has had to fight for a lot of what he earned this season already, is very quick at some tracks and always got better as the race went on. Yeah. Not the case tonight. Just could not find a stable BMW tonight.
Just can't find consistency, can he? Right, let's put a poll out for who the Pete audience think the silver driver of the season was. And if you do pick the other comment of it, please do put in the chat who you think, who you picked when you select other, who you would like to see as that driver of the season. But obviously we've got to start with potential the drivers who are still in the fight for it. And then we will put the other comment in at the bottom. As this is Johnson and Hunt still going at it. Stardog's into the pits. We've got Leach trying to gain on Nebo, but with Sturrock gaining on them. Broom's gaining on Sturrock as well. Then we've got Diego Flores just a bit further behind. Tucker is just on the rear of Peckman as well. So Tucker trying to get back ahead of Peckman there. And then Taylor on Dronelander. After Dronelander's done his pit stops here, Taylor looking to try and get a move on Dronelander as well. So let's see what happens. But Johnson he gets close to Hunt, but just can't find a way through at the minute, Langley.
Yeah, the top speed of that Porsche not helping him out, but he does look very quick. I wonder if he wants to dip in the pit lane soon, try to do an undercut on Hunt. And was that Gary off? Or is that another car? No, it was not Gary, I don't think.
I think it is Gary, because he's down in 14th place. But I don't think it was Gary that you saw there, because he's only just at the chicane. So, yes, Gary Leach has been off.
I saw the little yellow. Yeah, it was him.
So
the little yellow flag.
Sturrock, Broom, Flores, Greaves, Craig, Malarex all get past Gary Leach. So Gary's having an absolute nightmare here tonight. This is all going to make Sam kick himself even more.
Could you imagine, even if Sam finished, because he had to return to the pits, so could you imagine if he had just crossed the line in some 10th, 11th, 12th place?
Yeah.
It would have worked out for him, and it's...
Yeah, because he just
tears your heart out.
Yeah,
exactly.
Gary, just a couple of places, but he just still clawed back some points. It does really.
Yeah, because he ended up losing points to Gary in that race.
Now, at the moment, the way the chat's voting for Silver Driver of the season, we'll leave this open for about 10 minutes. So you've got 9 minutes left to get your votes in for Silver Driver of the season. I'm on the opposite person to who is being voted at the minute. You've got to think the way this championship has played. Steve Millington has led this championship for the majority of the season. Don't forget that one.
Yeah, that's true. Been not as good in the second half of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see what the audience thinks. I know I have mine, and I don't want to give it away. So I'm not even going to tell you why I'm choosing mine yet.
Matt Wright's just put in the chat, fair play to Gary. He's done all he can to lose this championship. Yeah, he has. He really has. The car's just not been with Gary tonight. We normally see Gary get better and, like you say, stronger in them second races. We've just not seen it. He's done his pit stop. He's come out behind, just ahead, of Stordog, behind Wolski and Popovic. Popovic with a really early pit stop as well, by the way. So we'll see what happens for Popovic there. But it's Williams who leads from Ritchie.
Just retire, Gary.
With Hunt from Cabino. Then it's
Matt Wright's a jokester.
Neil Broom, Diego Flores, Sam Greaves, Brian Craig, Malorex. Johnson in the pits, clearly going for that undercut on Hunt here.
Yeah, it should work out for him if he can catch some clean air, because he does look very fast tonight. Would be his first podium this season, right?
I
think so.
I don't know. Good question. Great question. No. He's had a second and oh no, he's had one podium, sorry. So no, it wouldn't be.
Was that race 1 or race 2, though?
Oh, without flicking through all the previous results, I don't know. I don't know if he actually inherited a podium.
Oh, that might be true, yeah.
He may have inherited it due to penalties. So I don't think he's taken one on track, as Stordog is looking everywhere over the back of Gary Leach in towards turn number 1. And I can't find a way through at the moment. So Gary stays ahead for the time being, but it might not be because he's wiggled on the exit to the corner, and Stordog side by side, a little moment for himself mid-crane of curves. Here comes Gary Leach back on Stordog. Halfway through the race, Pettersson's in for his drive-through, and Stordog gets ahead of Gary Leach. He just is twitching all over the place. He just cannot keep this car on circuit. And Gary Leach loses out there to Stordog, and Johnson well ahead of Popovic after the pit stops. He is, though, behind Williams, who's the leader, so Johnson might not lose too much time behind the race leader, who's absolutely flying right now.
Yeah, and honestly, if you had anyone to follow out on track, that'd be the person you want to follow right now.
Yeah, really would. He's the man who's flying, the man on a mission. And, yeah, you'd want to be following him in this race. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. As here comes Tucker on the back. Millington on the back of Tucker. Leach has actually lost out to Stapley now, so Stapley's got ahead of Leach. And
wow.
Leach, yeah, really struggling. Is Gary out there tonight, but we'll see what happens. Millington. Oh well, we've just turned off Tucker. Tucker must have had a problem because Millington's got through, and no damage on the front, so no incident there between them two. That's Tucker who must have made his own mistake. And this will be interesting now to see if Johnson can keep up with Sam. Ritchie's also pitted and is well clear of Johnson, some 11 seconds clear of Johnson at the moment. So I think 1-2 are pretty much locked in at this point.
Yeah, and it's a shame that it ends up this way, isn't it? Through the ups and downs of this season, we were fixing to have an absolute nail biter in this second race, and just not the way it pans out sometimes, is it?
Well, don't worry, because we've got an absolute nail biter tomorrow night as well. 5 drivers can win the Platinum Championship, 3 drivers can win the Gold, and 3 teams can win the Constructors. So you will not want to miss that one. 8 p.m. BST for the Pro Series race. You want to tune in to that and see what happens. Here comes Ritchie. He's ahead of Gabino. Johnson is ahead of Gabino as well, and Popovic has nearly got the jump on him. Where's Tanner Nebo? Tanner Nebo going to lose out to Popovic. They was fighting each other before Popovic pitted, and Tanner does lose out to Popovic there. So Tanner Nebo just behind that of the Mercedes-Benz of Popovic. Neil Broom has pitted. He's come out. He's jumped Sturrock. So Neil Broom has jumped Sturrock and Wolski. So Neil Broom has jumped a couple of cars there. So a great strategy from Neil Broom.
I wonder if Wolski repaired any of his damage that he had. Yeah, it does look like he did. Yeah. So that would have helped Neil Broom get the jump on them, and then Peckman charging through the field as well. Not the race he's had tonight. Both of our potential champions, assuming they don't disconnect. That's pretty much. Yeah, I mean, even if Peckman disconnected at this point, I don't think Neil Broom would collect enough points.
Pretty much going to finish in the top.
But this is also why I like the 90 minutes on the last race, because then you get more points and then more parity.
Exactly. As Wolski's just gone up the inside of Sturrock, that takes 15th place. He'll be chasing down after Broom now. Greaves on the back of Flores. Greaves with a little bit of damage on the front of his BMW. And Sam Williams into the pits. Hunt has pitted. Argent has pitted. Where is Hunt? He's came out the pits and stays ahead of Johnson. So crucially there, Hunt has stayed in front of Johnson. Johnson will be kicking himself that the undercut hasn't worked there for him.
Well, is it a case of tires? Because Johnson was really quick on his outlaps.
Yeah.
And wonder if it's not a very tire-heavy circuit, is Donington.
And it's very cool as well. It's only 12 degrees.
Yeah, so better strategy in terms of track position is probably to not take tires. And Johnson's dropped 2.5 seconds, so that could be pit stop, but we'll see how it plays toward the end.
Yeah, let's see what happens. Sam Williams feels like he's been in the pits for a while, but who's the 63?
Privet,
63.
right? Yeah, Privet.
Is Privet. Yeah, he's had a moment. He's stationary up by McLean's. I was going to say Sam was on his way out the pits, but Mirko Ritchie was only approaching the Melbourne hairpin, and Sam is already coming down the Craner curves before Ritchie's at Goddard. So, huge gap there. Flores does lead from Greaves, though, for the time being. Millington is in 4th place. They are the only 3 left to pick. Kieran Argent looking on his teammate there, who he nearly comes into the side of. That would have been an interesting conversation to have between the two, wouldn't it?
Yeah, your teammate's name isn't Man City, Kieran, so you don't have to punt him off.
I think Forever Forward Racing should run blue next season. Just a light shade of blue on the car. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Blue moon, you saw me standing alone.
Well, that's what the quantum colors are for, isn't it?
Did you see Matt Wright? If you're in our Discord and you missed the post, it was brilliant from Matt Wright earlier. He does a little announcement every season to sort of hype up the final races of the season. I can't find it. Announcements, there it is. And he put the thing he put about Argent and Tanner was absolutely fantastic. Rounding things out is Forever Forward Racing, Kneebone and Argent. Argent started strong with a feature race win in Hungary before hitting a rough patch, while Kneebone, who's just gone off the circuit and has rejoined behind Argent now, while Kneebone has shown flashes of brilliance mixed with some misfortune, it could end up being a season of what if, unless they produce something really special tonight. And if they do, expect a few messages aimed back at Quantum Motorsport after their pre-season release, because Matt Wright chose to get rid of them from the Quantum name because he wanted Ian Best to run. How did that work out, Mathew?
Maybe that's why he called me team manager. I can make better decisions than that.
Yeah, it's all on you now, Legos. All on you for next season. Get Argent to Kneebone in. Lovely shade of blue. Yes, that's what we want to see in the car. Right, let's stop the poll there. The fans have given Silver Driver of the Season to Sam Williams. So let's get Bronze Driver of the Season, which I think's a hard one.
It is. You have to think of... I like to think of the ups and downs of a season. A driver who was knocked down and likes to fight his way back, did not give up, and very put his name out there week in and week out. It's very difficult. It is very easy just to choose the champions sometimes, but you have to really think about how a season played out.
Yeah. And this is why I've listed Cherry Moore, because I think you can't knock what Cherry Moore did before, obviously personal things as to why he couldn't race Stockton.
Well, it looks like you listed. It looks like you listed Chewy Moore instead of.
He has been listed. Chewy Moore drives the Millennium Falcon car.
I'll be honest. Neil Broom came out of almost nowhere
and it's not just how he's driven this season, it's the improvement as well from last season for Neil Broom.
Yeah, and same with Cherry Moore. That's why it's tough.
Yeah, and you've got to look at Peckman, dropped down from silver last season into bronze, so almost should have kind of, you expect to be at the front, like when you see somebody come down from gold in pro into that silver pro-am category, you almost kind of expect them to run at that front sort of the pack. Same with silver into bronze. So,
but wasn't there until mid-season.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the. So he's also had his improvement. He really, like, where he is right now is pretty much where he was all year up until Watkins
Yeah.
Glen, and then he started putting in some unbelievable performances, including last week out at Valencia, where he was. There were a couple times where he's in a shout for an overall podium.
Well,
He was so good.
the fans are speaking now. I want you to think of a bronze silver driver of the day and bronze and silver driver of the season. And while we're at it, I'd like you to give me one moment from this season that you think has been the standout moment, whether it's a moment or a race, just one of them that you think was a standout moment this season. I think that's going to be... I'll give mine as well at the end of the night. We're currently watching Johnson on the back of Hunt, who must feel like he's been sat behind this BMW all night. The two teammates are about... No, they changed places. What, for both?
Yeah, I actually just thought of one because I'll actually do a bronze and silver moment of the season.
Okay. Glad you've got a good memory. Because... Yeah.
Actually, okay, it might give it away, but I commentated over these two specific moments, which is why they are memorable for me.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. I still think you've got a better memory than me. I can't barely remember. I think I've got a favourite moment. I don't know if it's the best moment this season, but one I'd like to give an honourable mention to is Kieran Argent's win at Hungary. I don't think anybody expected week one Argent to come out the gate in the chance of podiums, looking at the talent on the grid, and maybe a little bit of good fortune with Sam running out of fuel, but Argent did that job to win that race. So I think that's a highlight moment to this season, but I'm going to have to pick my two favourite moments now and see what we can come up with as well. But yeah, I think we've had a cracking night. The 74, that's Drone Andrews off again. Race 2's been a lot more quieter than race 1. We've had a full hour of nonsense. Nobody's got anything to play for barely anymore, and everybody's driving brilliantly.
Yeah, can someone drive to Gary's house and, unplug the router? That'd be quite funny.
He's down in 19th place. He's been...
It's shocking, isn't it?
Steve was down this low before everybody pitted. Gary's now this low after everybody's pitted. He's behind Steve Millington. Poor... If Tanner and Argent could pick up a few more places here,
Oh, yeah, what is it now? Because we did that calculation when Gary was at the front end, or, like, in the battle with Kieran. So what would that be now?
Let me work that out. Still on board with Sam and... with Hunt and Johnson, as they're trying to fight their way through...
Yeah, I think Johnson took tires and Hunt didn't.
Yeah.
I really think so, because he's absolutely flown up onto the back. And if they do get into an incident, someone who's had a very silent but very solid night of racing is Garbino, actually. He's had a very good 2 races tonight.
Yeah, he's done all right, hasn't he? Where was Garbino actually in race 1? Was he on the podium? He was second. Yeah, so good. Yeah, good 2 races for him as well. So I've just worked out that they'd lose by 104 points at the moment. Yeah, so they need
wow.
Yeah, so they need realistically, Gary and Steve to really finish down 26th place or something like that. Greaves is trying to get onto the back of Argent. No, he's not, because he's into the rear of Argent. Argent spun around. Oh, that could be an unsafe rejoin from both of them there. Argent rolled forward. Brooms had to go onto the grass, and Brooms lost out to Wolski and to Sturrock because of all of that, as Greaves and Argent got moving. But
They got Beyblades in the grass. We're hiring new Forever Ford lawnmowers now. Jeez.
All right, they're not in Hondas. Jesus. Oh my God, I can't believe it. Kelly's not in the box now to make Honda lawnmower jokes. We don't need them from you. As Benedict Vogue saying,
I didn't even. I'll be honest, I didn't even know.
Did I consider a career as Freddie Mercury? Not sure why, but thank you very much. Cherry Moore's Brands Quali lap. Yeah, it was a heck of a lap. Put him on up there in brought the overall lap time. Remember, he should have been on the podium every week. The commentators, Langley and Mathew, were the best for the whole season of this year, 2026. The moment was when Mathew Duffin said, "Into the wall at Donington Park." Cheers, Phil.
Might be a heartbreaking moment of the season, honestly.
Cherry Moore says, Nebo, silver driver of the season. Stapley really come on well for bronze.
I can see it. Because it's actually really close for 2 drivers for me.
I think it's really close between 5 drivers.
But I do like to see when people get knocked down and fight back. And that really has, like, a play for me and who I choose. So, actually, I think my hardest choice is actually bronze driver of the season. That's my hardest choice.
I've had my bronze all day. Yeah, I've had my bronze since this morning, to be honest with you. I think it's a pretty easy one to pick. City have beat Burnley, by the way, so top of the league. Kieran will be happy with that one, as he went spinning round a moment ago. He's now got to try and chase down back onto the rear of Neil Broom, who is 2.1 seconds behind.
He's searching for the bus wheels.
He must be finding for the wheel must have fell off, and that's why he spun at the final corner, bless him.
Yeah, exactly.
Good fight here.
Well, he wasn't leading, so.
No, exactly. Peckman, Malarex, and Steve Millington. Millington and Peckman nearly making contact there. Whoa, that would have been interesting. As Neil Broom's up in the top 10, by the way. What a drive from Neil Broom here tonight. That's absolutely fantastic from the young man.
Yeah, and it's very impressive to see, and he's shown it's one thing to show the pace in practice, but to actually claim it in a qualifying and race setting, it is another thing. And it is very well done tonight.
With Neil Broom, he had a heart operation in January. We started in February, and he's fighting for the bronze championship now.
He didn't do every race, did he? He missed one or two.
What a story. What a story that is. Absolutely beautiful. Where are we? 14 minutes left to go, so let's stop that poll for the... Oh, no, we've got 2 more minutes, actually, before I stop the poll. Millington's past Peckman, so that's more points. Peckman's losing out now to Broom, but and more points that SimPlay gaining over Forever Forward. So, but this will confirm Forever Forward, I believe, their spot in second place, although, yeah, they're both ahead of Sam Greaves and they're both behind Hunt, so it should balance out for Forever Forward to be second place. So that's nice to see. Flores gaining on Greaves after Greaves and Argent came together. Stardock gaining on Brian Craig. Just a little quiet in this second race, isn't it? Just nice and quiet for a change.
Prop your feet up. Throw your popcorn out.
Grab a beer.
Grab your... Didn't know they had planes landing in the background in this game.
That's because East Midlands Airport, where you go at the top end of the circuit, so where Gary Leach is now. Just behind that wall there in the background of Gary Leach, that is East Midlands Airport. The runway. Right there. So you see the planes coming into land. It's beautiful.
Gary's been
at midnight
off the
when
track.
You're trying to get your head down camping and you just hear plane coming in or taking off. You know, beautiful to listen to at 2 a.m.
Yeah, Gary's had a few offs tonight trying to find his chips around Donnie, so he might find another chip in the other terms at the end of this one.
Yeah, maybe in the paintwork, the bumper, the splitter. But not his chips from the Greek kebab stall on the infield of Donington Park, sadly for Gary Leach there. Beautiful day, though, it was at the weekend. Wasn't even slippy. He wouldn't have even dropped him because he wouldn't have slipped over. It was bone dry. Beautiful weather. Even got a D sunburnt onto my forehead where my cap was backwards. That was nice. As Johnson,
who was that for?
D for Dan Davis. Double D. Dan Davis.
Yeah, that's definitely what you said. Or I said.
Yeah, 100%. Johnson's having a look all over the back of Hunt here, down in towards the Melbourne hairpin. Just under 12 minutes remaining. It has really quieted out. I mean, look at that train of cars at the top end of the circuit behind Brian Craig. The problem is Stardock, Greaves, Flores, Malarex, Millington, Peckman.
Johnson needs to try to force the issue with Hunt. I think at that penultimate corner, Hunt is defending early and Johnson's taking the racing line. Well, you can't really do an up and under. So you have to try something a little different. If I were him, I'd keep going inside until Hunt literally covers the entire inside off.
Yep.
And then...
Oh, we've had another retirement as well. Drone lander, sorry.
Oh, boy. Ah, I see.
Keep going.
And then we'll see if Gary considers... Well, actually, at this point, has he completed 75%? Yes, he has.
Yes, he has, yes.
So that's pretty much done and dusted then. Don't even have to really wait for the line.
Vasic is saying that Popovic's tyres are dead. He did pit very early in this race. And Tanner Nebo should then make easy work of this, I'd imagine, if Popovic's tyres are dead.
Very slippy and slidey out there today. Cooler temperatures.
Let's go on board with Popovic. Let's see how difficult it is for him. This is on board the cockpit view. We can see that steering wheel input. Doesn't look too bad. You can see Tanner Nebo there just in the background. Oh, just getting onto the grass a little bit. How's it through the chicane? Yeah, it's all right. It's not bad from Popovic. Doesn't looks with his tyres going, it looks better than Gary Leach's on newer tyres than Popovic's, if I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah, Gary probably took tyres. So
if he didn't, it explains why he's probably not able to catch those down the back end of the grid. Greaves has had another moment, noting he's down to 17th, and Millington's now up to 13th. So Steve's on a heck of a comeback drive here.
Not the night that... Well, considering his teammates up in a podium position right now, Sam Greaves, it's just not the night. Usually them two are pretty horns locked on pace with each other, pretty close to each other.
Always a top
on the same night.
Seem to be.
Yep.
Yeah, just not the night, like you say.
Yeah.
Which is strange, because I don't feel like the BMWs have been good all around tonight. I know Hunt's running third. I know Tanner got third in race one. But I don't feel like the BM's been the car to be in.
Nah, not tonight. Not around Donington. It might have been the car to be in this season. Very much so. But around Donington specifically tonight, 31 kilos is pretty overkill, and it is showing. Yeah, but it is a little bit of surprise to see Hunt he's been the lead BMW all night.
Race 2, yeah.
For race 2, yeah. And that was some great avoidance from Diego Flores there to avoid Beckman. That was some great avoidance.
Johnson's got ahead of Hunt out the final corner. Johnson's got it done, so there is no other BMW on the podium. The 207 of Taylor has had a spin, and the 63 of Privet has also had another moment. But Johnson is up on the podium. He's got the move finally done, Langley, and he's sitting third place now.
Took my advice. Yeah, I'll be honest. I keep looking down the pack because literally, I know it doesn't matter because he would have to not, because he's already technically finished 75%. But this whole race, when Gary dropped down, I kept looking down to make sure his name was still there. The entire night, because that was the only way that anything was going to happen in this one.
Yeah, it was indeed. I'm just looking. Gary's not in the voice chat anymore. On the other chat that we're in, has he had an internet issue? No, he hasn't. He's out there on the circuit, so just noting he wasn't in that. Saying that PlayStation's terrible.
But it wouldn't matter, would it? Yeah. And Hunt and Johnson are absolutely scrapping it out here. Well, still.
Look at this for scrapping it out. Tanner Nebo right on the back of Popovic. Oh, bit of contact from the both of them. Tanner into a slide. I have to say, Popovic there really squeezed him onto the grass. That's going to give Wolski an extra position. So that is horrible for Tanner Nebo, who is trying to hunt down Wolski in this Drivers' Championship.
That's a classic case of I angle when I brake, and that's a big no-no. Yeah. So unfortunate for Tanner. Good to keep the car at least going. He does lose a place, and it's going to be hard to pass Wolski. Because he does have that BMW repaired, Wolski, and he's been quite quick ever since he got that repaired.
He has been pretty quick. I'll tell you what, Neil Broom's not far off the rear of Sturrock to open that gap up to Peckman a little bit more. Just feels like too much for him to do. Gary's got ahead of Starlog and Greaves once again. He's now on the back of Peckman. So Gary's moved up to 17th place. Steve Millington is all over the back of Brian Craig. Tanner Kneebone's trying to stick to Wolski. Tanner needs to finish ahead of Wolski. That gap is 35 points between him and Wolski then. So he needs to really get a move on up the order. But 6 minutes left. It's going to be difficult for Tanner to gain too many places. As Gabino's now only 6 tenths off the back of Hunt, who have Hunt's tyres started to go here as well, because he's lost 1.3
Yeah, I don't think
to
he
Johnson.
took tyres.
No, I agree with you. But yeah, he could be in trouble.
Because remember, Johnson, he was really quick, keeping up with Sam Williams out the pits. And he still came out 2.5 seconds behind Hunt. So I think Hunt didn't take tyres. That was the only way he was going to keep track position, stay ahead. And, actually, one fight, if you want to watch it on track, is between our two champions right now. If you want to watch that, Peckman, your bronze.
Sam's off!
And
Sam's off! He's off again!
Oh.
And I think it is more wheel problems for Sam Williams, who is about to lose the lead of this race, unless he can get it going. Here comes Mirko Ricci to take the lead, and it is horrible for Sam Williams. What an absolute crying shame for Sam. That is also Privet on the grass at the moment. Sam gets back going. Where is Michael Johnson? He's pretty close to Sam. Does Sam have damage out? Looks like he's got a bit. He's struggling to turn that, it looks like, a little bit there. He's still got an issue. He's not up to speed. Yeah. Oh, no. What, your heart goes out for Sam Williams tonight. Oh, what a shame for him. Absolute disaster for Sam Williams. Langley's almost in tears.
It's disbelief at this point, because it has just not gone his way at all.
It started with him running out of fuel. It's ended with his wheel disconnecting. And that really sums up his championship this season. He's had to return to the pit lane. Oh, that puts him right down the order. That is a shame.
Yeah, I honestly, and we don't promote it as the league because it looks bad on us when a lot of people get in the habit of doing it, and it's why you get a quali ban. I would not be surprised if he retires from this one.
Now, he'll still score points for where he finishes in this race if he doesn't come back out on track, 'cause he's done that three-quarter distance. And you can tell it was just a hardware issue, so it would not be a qualifying ban for him. Steve trying to get onto the rear of Brian Craig. The problem now is Wolski and Tanner Kneebone could take second place in the Drivers' Championship. That would be a real kick in the teeth.
Yeah, oh man, yeah, that would be. Well, we don't give out trophies for second and third in the championship, do we? So it's not as hard of a gut punch, but you don't wish it on anyone, do you? You don't wish it on anyone, and I know we've all been there, we've all had the issues, but yeah, it's quite shocking, honestly sad. It is heartbreaking to see. Because you can always say, if this didn't happen, I would have been. But you can never say, I was.
So Sam would need to finish 25th place to be tied with Tanner Kneebone in this race, but would lose out to Wolski. So Tanner needs to get a move on if he gets ahead. If he is to get ahead of Sam Williams in this one, he needs to get Wolski. He needs to get a few other drivers. Johnson still fighting with Hunt. Hunt has got back into second place now, and this has become a three-way fight between Gabino, Hunt, and Johnson for the podium with 2.5 minutes left. And Mirko Ricci has walked into a race win. Almost like what Sam did to Kieran, race 2 of Hungaroring. He's given it to Ricci today with that technical issue.
Yeah, and wow, just wow. And it's been an unfortunate story for him this season.
Yeah.
With that. And yeah, Johnson looks like he's used up all his tires. Trying to get by Hunt the first time. Wasn't able to make use of the clean air. Now under pressure from Garbino, who now all of a sudden has a chance at a podium in this one.
Yeah, it really does. As there's one of the blue Aston Martins staying out the way. We've got Brian Craig still fending off Steve Millington with Malarex gaining on the pair of them. Gary Leach is still stuck behind Peckman for what is now 14th and 15th place. And Sam Williams is back out on track, so will not finish down in 25th position. So that means Tanner needs to make up a few more places here. And I tell you what, if these three keep having a big scrap like they are doing, there could be a few handbags flying at the end of this race. And Tanner's a bit behind, but with the right incident and damage, could maybe him and Wolski get a couple extra places. Wolski, though, will be second in this championship at the moment as it stands. So Wolski will take hold of second place. And you just have to feel for Sam, because that's an even bigger kick in the teeth than the two issues he had tonight.
Yeah, but like I said, we don't give out trophies for second and third, do we?
That's true.
So I'll be honest. I think he was already gut punched after race one.
Yeah.
So I'll be honest. I'm not even going to mention it to him. He might hear it while watching the stream back if he does. If it was me, I probably wouldn't. But if he does, he probably doesn't care.
Yeah. No.
He probably. I mean, in his mind, and this is exactly what you want. Second is just as good as third.
Gary Leach has got major damage. That bonnet is severely buggered. Hood. Sorry, Langley. Let me Americanise it for you. The hood is buggered. Don't know what has happened there. He was on the back of Peckman. Peckman's still going and looks all right. So Gary has dropped it. And that is big damage. Unless Mirko Ritchie's actually about to cross the line without doing another lap. Nope, he starts the final lap. So Gary's either got a pit or just trundle around. Johnson on the back of Hunt. Wolski on the back of Popovic. Sturrock on the back of Nebo now. So, a few little fights happening. Millington's got past Brian Craig. Craig's got Malarex for company. Where's Argent? He's not really come back in this race since he's off at the final corner. But yeah, Gary is stationary.
He's just waiting. He's just waiting for the leader to come back around. Some way to win a championship. Oh my goodness.
It's
one way to do it.
Tonight has had absolutely everything, hasn't it? It really has thrown us everything tonight.
I think Sam should join him. I think Sam should join him right now.
Oh, you can't make tonight up. It has just given us absolutely everything that you can see around here at Donington Park. What a night it has been. Mirko Ritchie looks like he's about to take this race win. Gabino's fell off the back of the Johnson-Hunt fight massively. Wolski still on the back of Popovic. Sturrock's trying to stay with Tanner. Malarex on the back of Brian Craig. But let's go back to Mirko Ritchie. Gary will need to get a wiggle on here because Sam's on the same lap as him. So Gary needs to make sure he crosses that line.
It won't matter.
No, I know it won't matter. But he's not going to want to lose out to Sam Williams, is he? He's going to want to try and finish where he can. But here comes Mirko Ritchie to round the checkered flag. And may have just got that fourth place back in the championship. Mirko Ritchie wins here for the final time this season. Hunt looks like he's going to hang on for that second place. Johnson's just a little too far back. But it will be a podium for Johnson and Hunt. What a season Johnson has had in that BMW. What a season in the Porsche. What a season for Hunt as well. Gabino crosses the line side by side with his teammate Taylor. Gary Leach has finished down in 21st. We know that. Sam Williams has got fastest lap. Popovic, good result in the end, hanging on for P5 over Wolski's P6. Tanner Kneebone will take home 7th from Sturrock's P8. Although as somebody just... Well, no, did Sturrock just get Tanner at the end there? I don't think he did he?
Well, did he lift off? Oh, he must have.
I'm just watching back on my other screen. Let me just have a look. I'm watching back on my other screen a second. Broom, Argent, Millington, Brian Craig, Malarex, Peckman. So Broom, your bronze winner from Malarex, from Peckman, third place. That's your bronze podium. Stardog, P15 from Greaves, Flores, Stapley.
Yeah, Sturrock did get him.
Finish. He did get him. Yeah, I'm just watching. Oh, so Sturrock is 7th then. So Sturrock 7th. So Wolski loses out. So Tanner down to 8th. Sturrock P7. As we just wait for the final few to cross over the line. And they have indeed. And I will take a couple of screenshots of the results while we wait for drivers to get in to the chat to do their interviews at the very end. Sam Greaves, not the night he'd have wanted. He was down in 16th place. Steve Millington recovered back to 11th. Not bad for Steve there. Kieran Argent, P10. Keenan Stardog was down in 15th place. Diego Flores, not a bad show in 17th. Could have been better for him. Brian Craig was P12. Good result for him. Paul Williams is down in 20th. Andrew Taylor not here tonight. And in bronze, it was Peckman finishing in 14th. As we know, Neil Broom won that race in P9. Was it P9? I believe I'm looking at the wrong results here. Yeah, it was P9. Stapley was 4th in class, but 18th overall. Malarex 2nd in class, 13th overall. Tucker, 19th place. Good result for Tucker in this one as well tonight. So the championships have been done. And what an end to the Pro-Am season. We can confirm, though, provisional. As always, every result is provisional. Gary Leach is your champion for silver. He finally gets back up into that pro category for next season. That'll be his reward for that. With Wolski finishing 2nd, Mirko Ritchie 3rd, and Sam Williams 4th. Tannen Ebo finishes in 5th with Hunt, Greaves, Millington, Johnson and Argent rounding out your top 10. Stardog, Gabino, Flores, De Block, Sturrock, Popovich, Craig, Williams, Taylor, Betts and Dronelander rounding out your silver championship. And Peckman is championed by 65 points from Neil Broom, who had a heck of a season, but 2nd place for Broom. Stapley 3rd, Malarex in 4th from Tucker, Cherrymore, Privet, Taylor, Page, Simcoe and Rob Smith. And your team's champions, SimPlay Racing, by 126 points from Forever Forward Racing. 4Q managed to hang on for 3rd. Greasy Bandits was 4th from Cloud9, Team GBR, Vanguard Race Team, Richie's Course Team, Team Merlot, FRL Racing Team, Balkan Symbol, Black and Blue Racing, Pages Racing Team and Billy No Mates. We're joined by one person in the box tonight. His teammate will hopefully join us as well as getting the podium drivers in. But Langley, give us your driver of the days, drivers of the season and moments of the season.
Driver of the day, I don't care where he finished, was Sam Williams. His pace was over the top from everyone else. Actually, I'm gonna do this in unison because actually, driver of the day was Sam Williams today, and I'm actually gonna give him driver of the season on my end. And the reason I'm giving him my driver of the season is that there was a point where he was fully counted out of this championship, where he was down the order below 5th, and he had all these issues. He's had the fuel issue, he's had multiple wheel issues, and he's shown up and taken his points when he could. He didn't make any desperate moves when he was in 2nd and could have won a sprint race, and he kept clawing back points all the way into this one. And if it has gone his way tonight, he could have been champion.
Yeah.
Just not the way it fell. And then my driver of the day for the bronze is Neil Broom, who is also my driver of the season in the bronze category. For the same reason, he's been through so many struggles on track and personally that the way I saw him respond, and again, he never led the championship at any point in the bronze, but week in and week out, he kept coming in with consistent results. And there was one point, it was like, oh, Neil Broom's on the podium. That's a great result for him. And then it became, he's doing it every week. And then it's cultivated his improvement over the season to tonight, where he's absolutely dominated the bronze class. So, ironically, my drivers of the day tonight are also my drivers of the season. Now, for moment of the season, bronze moment of the season, Kyle Ami, 90-minute race. First 90-minute race in SimPlay history. Coming down to the final lap, and we end up getting the closest finish in SimPlay history across the line. First ever 90-minute race, just thousands separated at the finish. That's bronze moment of the season. Silver moment of the season, throwback livery at a track where that livery's won before, on his home circuit at Indianapolis, Tanner Kneebone taking the checkered flag at Indianapolis. Those are my two, bronze and silver, definitely memorable moments for me this season.
I'm going to go different. Driver of the day for me in silver, I'm going to give to Tanner Nebo. I think he's had a solid day. I understand why you've gone, Sam, but I think Sam's been very dominant and has had 2 unlucky results due to hardware issues. So I'm going to go a little different, because I'm going to treat this as if Sam has dominated both races. So I'm going to go Tanner Kneebone. Silver driver of the season for me, Gary Leach. And I understand your reasoning for Sam, but 1, Gary will moan like a madman that I haven't picked him. And 2, Steve has led the majority of this championship, and Gary has had to fight back to get ahead of his teammate when team orders could have come into play at any moment for Steve. That hasn't been the case, and Gary's had to fight for this championship. And he nearly bottled it tonight. Full Arsenal mode, nearly bottled it tonight, right? So I'm going to give Gary driver of the season. I'm going to agree with you, driver of the season for bronze. Neil Broom, big improvement from last season. Challenging Peckman, challenging Cherry Moore. Like you said, beginning of the season, he picked up a podium or 2. It's like, oh, Neil's got a podium. What a result for Neil. As the season goes on, it kind of just became that norm. Driver of the day today for bronze, I'm going to also go Neil Broom. Fantastic day for Neil. My silver moment of the season, I'm going to have to give it Argent's race win at Hungaroring. And I'll tell you for why. Argent on my list of drivers in this championship, between 10th and 12th for me. At the start of this season, Argent was between 10th and 12th, maybe 13th because Lino was here. That's where Argent was for me. Race 2, goes out, wins it. Yes, a bit of good fortune with Sam's unluck, but he had to do it for 60 minutes. Gary said it himself week after week. He was waiting for Argent to do Argent things and make that mistake, and it never came. So I'm going to give that to Argent. My bronze moment of the season, I think Cherry Moore, was he just off the podium one week? I think at one of the races, was just off the overall podium. It was like a 5th or 6th or something overall.
Don't remember if it was Cherry Moore or Peckman, because I know Peckman was. I think he finished fourth.
Peckman's done it multiple times.
Valencia.
Them
I think
two.
Peckman.
Yeah. Them 2 moments for Peckman, 4th or 5th. For me, are bronze moments of the season. Not only to just dominate that win in bronze, but to also then just be challenging the top drivers in silver is a huge moment. So they're my moments, drivers of the season and drivers of the day. And we haven't got Peckman in, sadly, and we've got no drivers who was on the podium in the race today. But we have got 2 drivers who nearly threw away both championships in with us. And we'll start off with Steve Millington. Happy go smiley Steve Millington, who's had a cracking weekend. It was an absolute privilege to meet you once again, Steve. But tonight was a lot harder than walking around Donington Park.
Oh, definitely. Donington, I've just got no look around Donington. First race just got tangled up at the start. Dan Craners, that ruined the first race. Second race, I had a bit of a tangle with, I can't remember who it is now, Mirko, I think it is. And I feel like I brake normally. I don't know if he outbraked himself or not, I'm not too sure, but he spun me around last corner. And I was on a charge from there, to be fair. And where I come in 11th, I'm fairly happy where I've come tonight in the main race, because I was last at one point.
Yeah, indeed. Just not the night, like I say, you never seem to have any look at Donington, but we can say that you are provisionally, for now, the Constructors' Champion of Pro-Am once again. First ever team with the same driver lineup to go back to back. That must still be a good feeling for yourself.
Oh, it definitely is, and it is a team game. Gary's done well in most of the races this year, and I've had a few unlucky disconnects, stuff like that. But yeah, to be fair, the last 2 years made a great team, and he's going up to pro. So I've got to find another teammate to try and retain that championship for 3 years on the row.
Well, you say you've got to find. I think that was sorted on Saturday, wasn't it, or Sunday?
Yeah, it was, but he hasn't showed up today, so that's a bit panicky.
Yeah, it is a bit panicky. Congratulations, Steve. Well done on this season. And look forward to seeing you out there again next season. Will the Ferrari be staying or looking at something else?
I'm debating whether to go back to the McLaren again, like I did in the pros. it seems to, I don't know. I like a loose car a little bit, and the McLarens are like that. So I'm going to put some pre-season testing in this time to make a decision of what to drive. But it is either with the Ferrari or the McLaren. If I don't get enough practice with the McLaren, it would be definitely the Ferrari again.
Well, we wish you the best luck, Steve. Congratulations.
Thank you, and all great commentary all this season. Thank you, lads.
Thank you. And we could turn over now
Cheers.
to your drivers, provisional drivers, and other constructors champion, Gary Leach. 3 times a champion. It's been nearly 6 years since you last won a championship here at SimPlay Motorsport. But you made it hard for yourself.
Mate, I don't even want to talk about tonight. That is horrendous. That is the worst a car has felt all season. I love Donington. You know I love Donington. The car was just doing things that I weren't wanting it to do. Simple as that.
You don't need to tell us, I think all the viewers, because we could see that the car was dancing all over the place. But you've got over the line, you've got that championship done. You kind of, in a way, have to really feel sorry for Sam tonight, because amazing pace from him.
Mate, I don't know if you've worked out if he'd have won both races, whether he'd have won the title or not, from where I finished. But, exactly. So, again, well, as we know, the last couple of races, I shouldn't have won the races that I've won. I haven't got the pace. It's just good fortune on my side, and commiserations to Sam and Tanner. To be fair, he's had his fair moments of bad luck, so it's just the rub of the green, I suppose.
It is indeed. Obviously, you're now going to make that jump back up into the Pro Series, where you've once dominated, once been a part of. Are you looking forward to getting your hands dirty once again back in Pro? I know, obviously, that's going to suit you down in personal life with things coming up that you've got coming up for racing on a Thursday night, but it's going to be one heck of a challenge, isn't it?
I don't think there's no challenge about it. I think it's going to be more see how many times I don't get lapped. I'll be there. I'll try rub some shoulders with some people and try and just have some good close racing and try not to upset anyone, really.
Indeed. Well, Gary, provisionally your silver champion and constructors champion with Steve Millington. Congratulations.
Cheers, lads. Thank you for a great season. And thank you very much, Steve, for being a great teammate. And we'll go again next year. Thank you.
I love that. And we are joined by a very special guest in the commentary box tonight. We've not heard from him all season, and we get to speak to him the final time this season. Neil Broom joins us in the box, your race winner for race number 2 tonight and runner-up in the Bronze Championship. Neil, welcome to the commentary box. Congratulations tonight. That was a great win and some great pace out there.
Thank you. I managed to find it eventually. That was really tough.
Tough? It looked tough, but you made it seem to make it look easy from our point of view.
Oh, no. I'm still shaking and sweating like crazy right now.
Great pace from yourself tonight, though. You must have been a bit surprised by your pace in free practice and the qualifying session, and then as well as the second race.
Yeah, I've struggled with the car quite a few times during the season. But tonight it was. I was surprised at how quick it was, especially with less fuel.
Well,
yeah.
You've got mine and Langley's votes for driver of the season in the bronze category. The improvement we've seen from you from last season into this one has been fantastic, and the fact you've pushed Cherry Moore and Peckman all the way has been remarkable. So congratulations, buddy, on a fantastic season.
Oh, we like I said earlier, we thoroughly enjoyed it, and it's been brilliant. Thank you very much for having us.
No, more than my pleasure. Will you be sticking with the Aston Martin next season, or?
It depends on my teammate.
Fair enough. Well, we'll keep it all a bit quiet for now, and we'll let you enjoy that one, buddy. Enjoy the off season and enjoy that, and we'll hopefully see you back next season.
Thank you very much for everything. Cheers for everything, boys.
No worries, buddy. Take care.
Cheers.
That then, Langley, is the end of the Pro-Am Championship. It is the end of me and you for the season. That is it. No more Matt and Langers in the box until at least the earliest of June. What are we going to do? What is everybody going to do on their Wednesday night?
In terms of us, probably look forward to some LMU action on Tuesday nights and or play some FIFA.
Yeah, well, we're very busy because obviously Langley is now one of the admins here at SimPlay Motorsport, so we have got a lot of work to get done for next season. We'll have our meeting next week and we'll make sure everything is ready to go for the start of the next season. As we said earlier on, Le Mans Ultimate will be coming on a Tuesday night, but ACC consoles for Pro and Pro-Am will still stick around for Wednesday and Thursdays. Sign-ups will be available soon, as well as check out our social media, Instagram, TikTok and Facebook pages, as well as join the Discord and SimGrid if you want to get involved with anything, whether it's driving, commentating, stewarding here at SimPlay Motorsport. Everybody is more than welcome in to help out. But from me, Langley, and the whole team here at SimPlay Motorsport, congratulations to Gary, to Peckman and to SimPlay Racing